The brightest lights I've ever seen in my life.
Are you going or not?
Yeah, we're streaming. What's up, YouTube?
Hey.
It's a race car.
How's it going, guys? Welcome.
That's what they do.
Welcome.
This is an Indy car.
Oh,
I've
geez.
seen them do this.
We're going to talk about that later.
All right. Easy now.
What is up, everybody? Glad you guys could join us. If you guys are joining us on YouTube, can you guys stop for a minute?
No.
This is serious. Not that we're ever serious. But
just give DJ dead.
These are the brightest lights I've ever seen in my life.
You know what? I fixed it. All right, so I'll just mute you guys. You're unmuted now. Joke's on you. Anyway, so yes, we are. If you guys have questions you want to see us answer on the show today, just send them in to us through YouTube, through Twitter, through that's another one. Someone get on Twitter.
Ask DJ personal questions. That's
ask me personal questions. It's fun. I answer some of the time.
We'll make them answer truthfully.
He answers 60% of the time every time.
What is your favorite number?
17.
You should be 1. You're wearing it.
That's true.
What's wrong with you?
That's fair enough.
3.
His favorite number? Whack.
All right, you guys ready to start?
No matter what he
real?
says.
I actually did think about changing our intro song this week to doing
genuinely
Kokomo.
never ready to start this.
Wait. What song?
No.
I thought about doing that, but
Bermuda.
What's up, JFB?
I don't know how to go live on or how to look at.
They
the
did,
song.
Cool. I got a nice question for us.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah.
All right, let's go, everyone.
What is your favorite ice cream?
That sounds about right.
Actually,
All right,
what's our
Coming in with
favorite
clutch
oatmeal?
questions.
here we go.
Are we going?
It's Pocono! Ryan Blaney holds off Denny Hamlin and gets his second win of the season. And we have several cautions that changes up the whole strategy of the group. What is up? My name is DJ. I'm with Here for the Speed. I'm glad you guys have joined us. I am joined by the one and only
Jake.
I wait for that moment every time. All right, and
Jeff?
just Jeff.
Just Jeff.
God, these guys are wet blankets. The one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, the RFK fan.
Legend.
The legend.
Don't meet your negligence.
Don't make fun of me. The RFK fan, Brad Kosowski fan, Matthew over here.
What is up? So, yep, we just finished the Pocono race.
Not just Jeff.
What?
At least I'm not just Jeff.
That's true.
I think I'd rather just be just Jeff than a Legagen.
Legagen sounds like you need
Starting
help.
something new, man.
I'm going to look that up in the dictionary.
Go to Urban Dictionary. It
It's
might
probably-
be cool.
it-
It might be cool.
Who knows? So, what do you guys think? Let's go through the ratings real quick. Jump into that. What do you guys think of the race so far? Well, so far. What do you think of the race?
It was
No
pretty
one?
good.
No one?
I mean, I
okay.
thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a little bit better. I felt like this race started off really, really good. Stage 1, Stage 2, and then Stage 3 was trending pretty good. But then that, I think that not a late race caution, but that caution like 30 to go, and everybody pitted because they had to for fuel. That kind of like killed the variable strategy. And then from there, it just kind of strung out, and it is what it is. But up until that point, I felt like it was awesome. It was really good. The racing was pretty good. It's still tough to pass, but the track was still pretty tough. You kind of had to if you want to speed down the straightaway, you had to give up a little bit, like in the corners. You saw like if you want to be fast, be down low in the straightaway. The bumps were really rough, stuff like that. So it's kind of cool, like seeing different ways different people drove and stuff like that. It's fun. I enjoyed it.
What would you give it a rating?
You're not gonna let anybody else say what they thought about the race?
No, I figured we'd just do ratings and.
No, you have to do it. No choice.
I gave it a 3 out of 10 for 3 corners. No, I'd give it solid 6
Okay.
because
Fair.
Pocono really has 6 corners.
It really does.
It does. It does.
I've seen so many arguments.
Jeff?
Who was it? Rodney Childers or somebody? Like they're like
I've
convinced. it has
seen
6.
3. I've seen 6. I've seen 5.
Five
I've
is
seen
another one.
7. I've seen all
7?
over.
How'd they get 7?
There's a corner into pit road. I don't know. They add one there because you got to turn into
Bro,
it.
your source,
corner.
the pages you be following are wild.
Red is wild.
All right, Jeff, your rating and what'd you think?
I thought it was okay. I mean, the first stage was really good. Second stage, it was not the same as the first stage as far as second stage was mostly strategy, I guess. Like you're mostly trying to keep up with strategy, which is fun, for me at least.
Yeah.
But first stage was more like a more gritty racing, just trying to get position and all this and that. And then second stage is trying to keep up with strategies and like people gaining different points. Do you want to go for stage points? Do I want to go for the win? Whatever you want to do. And then third stage, like Jake said, it's like they had that one buzzkill pit stop or caution that caused everyone to pit stop. And then just from there, I kind of assumed it was still going to be competitive, because of how competitive it was up to that point. But everyone just kind of got way spread out, and it just wasn't as good of a finish in my opinion. But overall, I'd give it like a 6.5, somewhere in there.
6.5?
Like, it wasn't.
It's not
It
bad.
was all right.
Yeah, Matt.
Straight up, 10 out of 10. It's Pocono.
It's Pocono.
How can you not love Pocono? It's 3 turns, right?
No, we discussed this. No one knows how many turns it is.
You know
Well,
what's really
I mean
fun-
that's just conspiracy.
I
theory.
used to,
There's three official turns.
I used
per
to
the NASCAR.
despise Pocono, but it's really starting to grow on me. I think
Pocono's
I
a
think
great
you're rubbing
track,
off on me.
man. It's fantastic. It's
that's the
2.5
truth he's talking.
miles. You can go hella fast, right? You got 3 different corners.
Very different.
It's great. You got some bumps. There's now some bumps in turn 2, which have been there like the past few years, but you could tell the track's weathering. Like, man, this is a really solid track. Like, it's not like you're not getting super speedway like feels out of it, like a normal 2.5 mile track would be, but you're getting a really solid fast track, which I think we could appreciate after the last few weeks we've had with a lot of rain.
Yeah.
Like this was a straightforward track.
Just to
Isn't
note
it crazy? Like the race finished and the sun's still up.
right?
that a little bit, yeah.
You know what's crazy?
It's a new thing. I'm about it.
It was like raining 2 hours before the race.
Hey, 2:30 start times.
Yeah.
I'm for it.
I'm about it. So no, I
We got
listen,
another
I
one
don't
next
know.
week.
10 out of 10 is me being biased. Realistically, probably like an 8.7. I think like an 8.7
That's
out of
still
10.
high though.
It was a solid race.
Matt loves this track.
That's
He-
true.
he
I
is a
love
little
Pocono,
biased.
man.
He says no bias. He's a little biased.
Yeah.
Just keep in mind, Matt's a salesman professionally. So he's trying to
sell you on Pocono.
trying to sell us on this. whole
Pocono's
thing.
one of them races, man.
If you had
Listen,
never
if
seen
we could go
Pocono,
back to-
you would be convinced this is better than the 500.
Listen, man, we race
I've been talking to
on
Matt.
circles all year, right? And then you
And
randomly
squares.
get a
We have a
square
square.
if
Matt's
they
over
decide
here.
to have a square.
What square?
I'm
There-
sorry, rectangle.
Rectangle. We have a rectangle.
Which one?
Indy.
Indy, which is next week. So we're going from circle. Well, no, we're going from road course. But
Oh my gosh! I just thought of something. They're going
We're
for the
all
whole.
over.
They're going for the whole PlayStation treatment. We got
Yes.
circle, square, triangle. Now we need an X.
when will we
No,
race
we have
around the
squiggly.
Pentagon?
Let's quickly.
Can we get a track around the Pentagon?
Well, wait.
just throwing it out there.
Chicago is pretty X-shaped.
No, that's
Oh,
it's kind of
That's
X-shaped.
interesting.
That's real X-shaped. It's like an
close
infinity
enough.
sign.
Where we race after Indy is if it's a circle, bro. We have the
it is a
quadfecta.
circle. It is a circle. It has to be.
It has to be. I don't care where we're racing. Go to an oval next.
We're in the like best 4 races of NASCAR.
This is the PlayStation.
This is it
portion of
right
the
here.
schedule.
Matt's over
Michigan.
here.
We
Matt's
go to
over here
Michigan.
like
That's close enough
Michigan.
to a circle.
It's a D. It's
That's
a D.
close
It's a D
enough for
circle.
me.
Matt's over here
That
like
is kind of wild.
That is weird.
So I'm about it. I'm about
Oh no, it's
Pocono,
Richmond.
bro.
It really is a
I think
circle.
Matt's out here. Matt's
Pocono
out here.
is great. It's got great corners, great track. You know, you get some mechanical failures. You get a lot of, I don't want to say passing, but you get a lot of like strategic skills. There's not a lot of passing. There's just not. Unless your name's either Chase Elliott or Denny Hamlin this week.
Man, he was
You're not
really
passing.
fast.
Hell,
He was like really fast until he got like top 8, and it kind of.
It was just
He
the
was
last
still
stage
really
he was too
fast,
low.
but like his speed like wasn't as good. Like he could run from 20th and just run straight through top 10.
disgusting. It was disgusting.
Yeah,
when
but
he
then
was.
like it
He
seemed like
was the
once he
pick.
got to top 10,
Honestly,
it was
Chase
tough.
Elliott was that pick.
Where
Yeah.
did he start?
19th, I
Yeah,
think.
that's a good day for them.
Yeah,
Matt's
great
out here
man.
like Pocono.
We got a couple ratings in the chat.
Really think about it.
Yep.
Yeah,
we got
Can I
we
do
got
mine?
RG. Sorry, DJ.
DJ, just drop it in the chat real quick.
Hold on.
if you want an opinion, drop it in the chat.
Yeah. Okay. No, I was gonna give it 6 for 6 corners. Kind of
Nice.
same thing because I think
Fair
6.
enough.
It's 6, bro. The
Yeah,
crew,
1
the
point
crew,
per
the
corner.
crew chief set up the cars for 6 corners.
Yeah, that's
So-
the way I look at it. No,
What's the
I
difference
thought
between
I
a
thought
corner
it
and a
was.
turn?
I
What
thought it was
turn 7?
what?
Is there a difference between a corner and a turn? Or are they synonymous?
I mean, technically, a turn can be as little as 2 degrees, 3 degrees, like just.
So Daytona has 4 corners but 5 turns.
6 turns. In and out.
In and out.
In and out.
Ooh.
It's gonna change the way I race it on iRacing.
No, I'd say 6. It was. I mean, you guys pretty much said everything. A solid race. Nothing crazy. I was really looking forward to the strategy. The last few cautions kind of killed a little bit of a huge strategy play that we were going to see.
Race, for sure.
But the strategy was always interesting because we were thinking through the whole race. We're like, we have no idea how this is going to play out because the field was all
Dude, it was
jumbled
hard
up.
to follow.
Yeah, it was.
I was like, I don't. we'll just see how it shakes out because I don't even know where who's what.
Talking
where.
about hard to follow, the broadcast I thought did a pretty good job with that. They also did some awesome things talking about what was one of the pit stops or something. The guy that was fueling, I don't know, gosh, whose car was
They
it?
were talking about how they fueled
Barry.
Barry's car.
Yeah.
Yes.
And how they were doing a different choreography to make sure that
Yes.
the thing was full and stuff. That was great.
Dude, NBC slaps.
They do.
The drastic comparison of Friday's broadcast with Fox. Y'all know how I feel about it. I'm sure you guys have
Oh,
similar
it was
opinions.
bad.
The comparison of Friday to Saturday was so drastic. It was ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like they're showing the truck race, and the battle from like 10th on back is 3 wide, ridiculous, hard racing, and they are just completely focused on the top 3 who are single filed out, probably a second between first and third.
Yeah.
And second was somewhere in the middle. But it's just like
What are we doing?
the racing in the back though.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen this over here? Like,
Kinda
oh,
like
man,
that,
like that drove me nuts.
That SpongeBob
man.
meme where he's just like keeps showing them
Literally,
It
man.
doesn't need to be top 5 the whole time. Like
Right?
a race for 15th can be good.
Most
Yes.
time is better.
Yeah, it can be really good. Even if it's for half a lap, just let it play out
Yeah.
and then cut back. Like if the leader has a 3-second lead, odds are not much is going to change. Right? Like just
I mean,
let it play
you're
out.
right.
Like,
To me, like
if
last
they're
week
within
at
a half a
Chicago,
second, let it run.
NBC's shots at Chicago, incredible.
They were
incredible.
good. Those were good.
The
cameras.
over the hill shot is
Yep.
just legendary status. And then
They had like 2 cameras.
how
on
many
every
many
corner.
wrecks did we miss?
Oh, a lot.
No, Chicago.
We missed a lot.
Oh, yeah.
in
But
general.
which ones did they not have a replay of? None.
Oh no, they had
There
every
was there
wreck.
was no go to Twitter and find the onboard camera of what happened. There was none of that.
And it was fairly on the last lap. They decided not to do cutbacks or replays, which is fine. It's the last
It's
lap.
the last
you
lap.
got one lap.
You got to show the winner. You
You
got to
gotta
show
show
the
the
guy
leader.
out there in the lead.
you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
to.
for sure.
I
That's
think,
all
like,
good.
Chastain like hit the barrier, like the tire barrier, just drove through it. Did not even stop. Just tires over his car and everything. Didn't care. He just went for it.
And that's all good. Like I think we're all fine with that. But it was like I don't know, man. The broadcast.
You
Like,
have to be a fan of the
man.
sport in order to run the sport. I think that's what it kind of comes down to. You got to know where to look, what to look for, and dictate.
That's
who
probably the
shows
best way
what.
to say it.
Like-
Whoever's controlling the cameras, I don't think understands racing or NASCAR in general or
I don't
NASCAR
know.
racing because they don't know what.
I think
I assume I don't want to just like blast that person or whatever.
Yeah,
but like
I don't think that's
it
fair
doesn't
either,
it
but-
doesn't seem like they know like where like they can't anticipate like on a restart at Pocono. They're probably gonna get strung out first couple, but then the action is gonna be in the rest of the field.
You got side by side up front for a lap, but
Yeah.
honestly, 15th back is 3 or 4 wide.
for
that's just
for
how
what
it's gonna
5,
be.
6 laps.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
That's what you need to focus on, unless someone's wrecking or they're taking a position. Like
Yes.
you have a big.
or if you had something crazy like
You have
a
a-
Justin Haley up front, something weird.
You know what throws a curve in this whole thing for me? They've shown 10 live cams at a time.
Yeah.
We could do that at any time.
Oh, for
Yes.
NBC, yeah. I love how much
I love
split
NBC.
screen
Like,
we
don't
have.
get me wrong, but like they could do that at any time. They
Yeah.
introduced the meta. Like you have to follow that at this point.
Imagine
Every
next
restart
year,
should have 10 cameras.
imagine
Like,
next year with ABC and
oh, it's gonna be so good.
Dale Jr. and his whole crew and
I'm
his
telling you.
ideas. Like from what I've heard, Dale Jr. has a ton of influence on the entire. It'll be similar. It'll be familiar, but it's going to be
Well,
fresh and
he
it's going to be
can't
amazing.
change the rules of NASCAR. There's general rules he can't change. He can't just throw in yellows whenever he wants. He
No,
can't
no,
just-
he's not going to change the
it's
race.
not like gonna be like, oh, for 6 weeks it's gonna be like SRX, you
no,
know,
it won't be
racing.
anything like that.
But I think there's gonna be a lot of cultural changes within the industry
This
for
is
those
Could
10
be.
races. It's gonna be
probably,
enjoyable.
Probably a little early because it probably should go in the rumor section, but it's not in there. But one thing I've heard is like a lot of these commentators and broadcast partners, not partners, but broadcast personalities, their contracts end this year.
Uh-oh.
So, like the rumor is like Dale Jr. may be putting together the A team of all A teams. Steve
Assembling a
Letarte.
team.
Steve Letarte. I've heard his name in the. You
That'd
know,
be wild.
Does he have like a flying fortress in the sky to follow the races?
yeah, probably. Yeah, the new helicopter cam is the Harrier from like Avengers.
Oh my God. Helicarrier?
Yeah, the
I'm assembling
helicarrier.
a team.
But so like I mean that's really interesting. Like if they have the coin to go after it, I mean imagine if they get like Jeff Burton would be great. So if you have like Dale Jr., we probably wouldn't because you already have Dale Jr. So Dale Jr., if you get like a Steve Letarte, who's to say they couldn't get Larry Mack?
Maybe.
I mean,
Bring in Bestwick.
nobody really knows. Bro,
Bestwick.
honestly,
Bring him in.
Dale Jr., Steve Letarte, Alan Bestwick would be the dream broadcast team for me.
I think it would be too much information.
Alan
I think it's too much
Bestwick.
for the general.
With
consumer.
Larry-
What did I say?
What with?
Huh?
Steve
Alan Bestwick?
Letarte.
Yeah.
I was just.
Yeah, I thought you were correcting me. I was like,
oh
what
no,
did I say?
no,
No,
I was
It's
nodding
sad
in
to
Maybe
me
with
approval.
Larry
I think
Mack doing
Junior would be the
strategies.
weak link.
I was nodding in approval.
He doesn't have to be the most technical guy.
He's just be
He's
the
just
excitement.
he's a race fan. That's
the
why people like him.
excitement.
He just
Yes.
has to be a race fan.
Yeah, I give you that.
That's literally all I need.
Oh,
Dale
we
Jr.
got a spin.
What happened?
literally.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Look,
exactly.
man, he's the only one up there like oh, when something happens, it's like, oh yeah, we got a crash. And it's like, no, he's like, whoa.
They're wrecking for 23rd.
Literally, he does exactly what we do when we're in here and we watch a wreck. We're like, oh! Like
Just
every
to
time.
go through some of the comments. So RG said 7.625, very technical. It sounded like he's
Wow.
running a lap time there.
Hold on, what was it?
7.625.
Right
Wait,
that
hold
one
on.
down
Is
in
that
the
a
books.
is that a
No,
caliber?
if you square Pocono, like that's
That's a
Easy.
caliber, isn't it?
Easy.
probably.
762.
Jason says a 3 out of 10. I like RG.
Ooh,
Also said
fair.
a 10 when Bush got whacked. That's a little rough. He's a little rough here, bro.
Stop beating up on the old man.
We all like to root
Sometimes we
against
gotta tell
Kyle
the
Bush,
old
but I don't know. It kind of feels
Nah.
you don't like to kick a man when he's down.
No,
He's
no.
lost all his teeth.
Oh
Let him
man. Jason said no whiskey tonight. Oh, there definitely was some. Not right
Can't
now.
tell. He can't tell.
A little bit.
The Rick Allen voice has got to go. Rick Allen's kind of grown on me the last couple of years.
I don't
too.
mind Rick Allen that much.
I don't
Like,
either.
I don't
I'm
know.
really excited about Lee Duffy kind of jumping in
That'll be
halfway.
interesting.
That'll be interesting.
That'll be.
What's that happen when IndyCar and NASCAR starts at the same time? What happens?
I don't know.
Simultaneous?
You ever see those sitcoms where someone's got to be in two places at one time? It's gonna be
Yeah, yeah.
them running back and forth. I don't know.
Was the what was I watching? The IndyCar broadcast? Did it not sound like they were remote? Did you listen?
have
Did you
no
pay
idea.
attention?
I don't know. No,
It seemed like they
had
weren't-
people on the track.
But it
I don't
seemed
think they
like
were
the
remote.
broadcasters almost sounded like they were remote because like they weren't reacting to things until
the camera
the
showed it?
camera showed it.
I think there was a lot to look
They
at.
could have been looking at the screen. In all fairness, I'm just
Yeah.
saying it wasn't like
I would
Fox
imagine.
does that. So, but Fox Cup like they have like it's like a thing like you got to watch the screen, and NBC was like the same thing. Watch the screen. That's what the fan sees. React to what the fan sees. And Dale Jr. basically said no. I'm gonna watch the racetrack, and I'll let you know if something crazy's happening.
If the camera guy's not on, it's not my fault.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's,
Basically.
that's
Yeah.
how I look at it.
I don't know. I didn't notice that per se, but I mean they had people on the track. It seemed very upfront. It seemed very NASCAR-ish, if
Yeah.
you know, to put words out there. It seemed very similar to how the NASCAR Cup Series starts an IndyCar race. Track walk, a few interviews, show the corners of the track. This is what we got going on. Blah blah blah. We're gonna
Yeah.
head to the studio and we'll dictate the race from there. They might have been watching it, but you got to imagine too. I mean, these guys were completing a whole lap there in like 10 seconds. They finished
so fast.
They finished 250 laps at Iowa in like an hour and 10 minutes.
Jeez.
It was disgusting. They started that race at like 12:45 or like 1 o'clock, and they finished by 2 o'clock on the dot.
It was
over.
Yeah, it's like 12:40. Yeah, it was
Disgusting.
green flag.
It was 250 laps, Jake. That's
I know, that's a bummer. I couldn't
gross.
watch.
Like,
Yeah.
I only got to see highlights.
which is like it's fine. Like I think they were halfway at like 1:15, basically. So I mean, if you can't catch everything on track, they're running so fast. I get it. It's a small track, so
Yeah, I guess since we're talking about IndyCar,
Yeah, I was
might
gonna
as well
say,
go into it. That wreck was wild.
That was
insane. It was.
that. Well, that I don't know if you call that wreck or those wrecks.
Wrecks.
As wrecks.
Yeah,
it was a
weird
whole
because
thing.
like Alexander Rossi kind of turned up and he hit someone or he hit the wall and then he came down and then someone landed like hit his right
It was
rear
wild.
and started flipping or going airborne and you saw the whole undercar carriage and then he started flipping like it was a straight up NASCAR style wreck.
Yeah.
Like the precision in these cars and how close they are to wrecking like every single race. Like I get why people don't want to risk it and don't touch each other.
I mean,
I get it.
Yeah.
to
If
me,
that's the consequence of just rubbing fenders,
Well,
I
they're-
ain't touching.
That's
no
the thing. You got to
one.
figure
I'm
they don't have
sorry.
fenders, so when they hit wheels, instead of just bumping and bouncing,
Right.
the wheels climb over each other.
Right.
That lifts the car, air gets underneath.
So NASCAR, like we're all cool with, rubbing
the
and
fenders.
racing. Let's hit each other. A little slide up the track ain't gonna hurt no one. You might get a flat tire, whatever. Nah, bro, you hit someone here, you're in the air.
No, you have a
You're
major
done.
risk of airborne. I mean, it makes you realize. I mean, imagine if this wreck is at Pocono running 50 miles an hour
gosh.
faster.
Crazy.
I mean, we saw it. We saw what happened.
don't get me wrong. Like IndyCar at Pocono, that it's dangerous, but it's exciting.
Well, why do you think
Same
that?
with Texas, man.
Same with
Yeah.
Texas.
With the old Texas, the new
Same-
Texas kind of
any
sucks. But
any oval with IndyCar is extremely exciting, and I highly encourage anyone to watch it because it's a great race.
This-
Well, why do
this
you
is
think
a
that
short
they, why do you
race,
think that they're like
but watch
the
it,
ovals
it's a
are
good
getting
race.
less and less?
because
I mean,
it's
it makes
dangerous.
sense.
People
It's
are dying.
dangerous.
People are getting hurt.
But I
Killed.
think if IndyCar goes to a straight road course style race, it's dead.
It's not as
It
good.
can't compete. It can't compete with
Yeah.
F1.
You know the-
F1's already in that market. You can't compete
Yeah.
with that.
You know the problem with IndyCar on their street courses? Road courses, I feel like, are better, but street courses, all the tracks are so narrow. You can't pass.
no.
There's no passing. I mean, maybe the hybrid system changes that.
Which
but
I saw
Maybe.
that today. That was pretty awesome. I thought that was really cool.
how does that change your opinion for potentially NASCAR? Remember that was like a thing for
I'm
a
about
while, but it's been real quiet.
That's what I've been saying. I've been
I'm about-
saying it makes
Listen,
sense.
at this point with the Cup Series, there is no going backwards. I'm sorry to say it. Like there's just
Yeah,
not. You
for
can't
sure.
go backwards. You have to continuously go forward, or else you are stagnant. And if you are stagnant, you are dead, and nobody's gonna watch it. AKA, look at F1. They were real exciting. They had a great following, and they didn't change a thing. And Max Verstappen won like 23 races in a row, and now
it's not
nobody
even
watches
that.
it.
F1 hit
So-
lightning in a bottle because I've been watching. I don't watch
did.
every F1 race, but I follow it.
Listen,
And they hit lightning in a bottle one year during COVID. With the on top of that, they had the Netflix show, and then
Yes.
the following championship was insanely close.
yes,
But then they kind of went back to their old ways of one car is just
it's
extremely
super
dominant.
Now,
But this year is better.
this year's gotten better, but they've already lost the following. That's the problem.
Yeah,
The
the American
It's-
audience is
They
dwindling.
did not move forward with it. Like, listen, if you have to,
Well, that-
if such a car is so dominating up front, I'm sorry, you got to make rule changes every single week to keep it competitive.
Yeah,
you
and-
got to do it.
The other thing too is like I think this is a huge thing for fans here in the States at least. I mean, let's be honest, things are tough for everybody. Things are more going up like crazy. Things are expensive. And then F1 comes to town and it's, $200 for a thing of nachos.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
like,
That's rough.
I
how
mean, we all want to go to an F1 race, but it's just like
we live
we could
3
go to-
hours from Miami.
There's no
we could
way
go to
we could
go
afford
to 5 NASCAR races for one F1 race, and you'll see the whole track.
Yes. And we could probably have
And they
have-
sell $3 Busch Light.
and we could
Yeah.
probably go into
It's
fan
not
zone.
$3, but okay.
No,
I get that.
I will.
Wait.
I will show you.
No,
Where
there is a,
at,
there's
though?
a
I'll show you.
spot.
Next
There
time
is a
we go.
spot.
Okay.
There is.
Yep. If you go to the NASCAR tent with all their big display, $3 Busch Light. 100%.
Holla.
At Daytona is like $8.
No, I'm telling you. No, in the stands, yes. But if you go outside,
show you a
they have
better
their
deal.
whole
Oh,
outside
yeah,
deal.
yeah.
They have a thing.
Gotcha.
They want to be eco or not. I guess I don't know. This, like
I don't
cost effective or
Cost effective.
you know,
I'll
they,
put you on a
they
real
have the
secret.
fans on their priority, and they sell super cheap
I'll
drinks.
put you on a real secret.
$5 cocktail.
Dollar General.
Yep.
You be picking up an 18-pack of
All right,
Busch
here we
Light
go.
for $12.
You want all the beer hacks.
That's a beer hack right there.
long as it's not
It
glass.
is $2 less than what they buy. it at.
And
they
keep-
lose money on the deal.
As long as
Keep
it's
in
not
mind.
glass.
Keep in mind, almost every NASCAR race you can bring your own stuff in.
Yep.
100%.
Like I
That's
said,
true,
as
too.
long as
I
it's
I don't
not
know what the
glass.
gate policies are at
I
F1, but
don't-
they're probably not that.
Probably not. They probably want you spending
Dude,
$200
I
on
can make
bring-
a
nachos.
you
rant
can
just
bring
selling
cans.
an 18-pack. F1.
You can bring cans, or you can just do what Matt's dad did: bring a bunch of bottles and then just chug them right before you go in because they
yeah,
wouldn't let
man.
him bring
That
it
works
in.
too.
Party hard.
4:30 in the morning.
Listen, my dad's a great guy, but he's got one beer and it only comes in a bottle, and they ain't letting him in with it. So
Ye old-
oh well, sorry,
Ye
bud.
old Amberbach.
Ye old Amberbach. That's it.
Yep.
It don't come in cans. You don't have a choice.
So let's talk about trucks. The truck race, it basically turned into a night race, but there wasn't a whole lot of drama there.
It kind of got close. So for some reason, I don't understand. I do, but I don't understand the truck race. They start on a Friday. They have to wait for everyone to get home from work, but they start at 5 o'clock and they have an end time at 8.
Yeah.
That's a short amount of time for a race. We've
Yeah.
seen these races go on 5, 6,
I
almost 7 hours.
I didn't even think about it initially and was like, oh yeah, that's right. They don't have lights there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like,
No, of course they have to start at
What are
5:30.
we doing? It was generally a good race. Not a lot of craziness happened because it was a cooler time in the day. There's mountains up there. It didn't really rain until the last 10 laps. But why are we playing with the time? Like, we learned this last week. What are we doing? Like, that's kind of my whole sense with the truck races. Why are we not
but
just
they're
doing
doing
a double header on Saturday?
They're doing a one-day show because it's a long way for truck teams. So like I kind of get it. I get what you're saying, but it is a long way for them to go. And then it's also they can help them do it in a one-day show. One-day show. No, they don't. They race next week and they race the week before. Truck week.
I thought they had like a big break. I thought they had like a month break here.
Trucks just had a month break. We're back into it. They're racing every week for like a month straight.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
No,
I thought they were like, we're going to race a week and then take 2 more weeks off.
For real. Can we have trucks at the big track at Indy?
Listen,
Sorry.
I'm still going to throw this out there real quick.
Can we have trucks at the big quag?
The big track.
I'm going to throw it in there.
Trucks go real fast.
I kind of had it as a question. Why are we not doing a doubleheader on Saturday?
You want to know what I think
That's
it
a
was?
2-day show. It's going to cost teams more money.
No,
Why is it a 2-day show?
No, I'm going to be honest. I think I know what
If you
this
do double
is.
header, because you have Cup practice, Cup qualifying, Xfinity practice qualifying, and then you also going to try to put
You can
trucks
do
and
all the
that.
practice and
telling you,
qualifying
Matt,
on.
Matt,
I'm
telling-
I see what you're saying.
I'm
It's
telling
a
you
2-day
why.
show.
Yeah,
I get it.
Because
I
they
get it.
already sell out Saturday and Sunday, and
Well,
they
not
probably,
Saturday. They don't sell out Saturday.
It's pretty
grandstand.
cl- it
It's
looks-
close.
it looks
They
sold
have
out.
great tickets.
Yeah. So if they did that,
Double
they're
header
selling
might
out.
get you there. Yeah, but the grandstands on Friday were not great.
Oh, doubleheader for $20 sold.
Yeah, but keep in mind,
We going next year?
Stands
Sold.
Whatever you sell, then concessions.
Driving
I'm
to
just saying,
Pocono,
I'd be
man.
willing to bet from a track that got removed from 2 dates down to 1. I think having it on 3 separate
I don't
days.
think.
So do you
it's a-
think
I don't
you
think.
make-
It's I don't think it's the track's call. I think it's NASCAR's call.
Do you
It might
think you
be.
make
I-
more
NASCAR is
concessions
going to
having
give
2
themselves
days?
room in the schedule to be able to
Maybe.
work around weather.
You're already hiring people to fill the concessions and do that on Friday. Why are you paying them again for Saturday when you could just do it all in one day?
Because you can make money.
It's
For 2
literally
days? Bro, I'm telling you, we've been at the track at 10 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night. We've bought twice as much food. Well, hey,
That
I
is
got to
true.
go buy some nachos at 12. Okay,
If we're going
it's
for-
5
if-
o'clock at night. I need like a hot dog or a
If
hamburger.
we go into grandstands for 3 hours, we buy nothing. If we go there for 8
100%.
hours, we buy a lot.
Exactly.
fair
that's true.
I'm just
Tracks,
throwing
if
it
you
out
want the
there.
stats, if you all want to know how to make money, give us a call.
The more races at Pocono,
Why?
better.
Because Jake goes and buys everything and goes to everything.
Well, I go to a few.
he ain't gonna buy that Busch Light though. He's gonna.
That's
go
true.
To
He's gonna find
I'll
out.
tell you, for $3?
But you ain't buying it from the infield grandstand. You going out the track?
No, I go outside, buy 4 or 5, and then take them in the seats where they last me all day.
So Chastain did pretty good in the going back to trucks. Chastain did good in the trucks. Corey Heim, big surprise. He got his
Corey Heim,
5th win.
Yep, 5th win of the year.
They're
Disgusting.
nasty, bro.
I mean, it was kind of a show. It was the Christian Eckes. I mean, Sanchez was up there, and Corey Heim. It was those 3 trucks yet again. I mean, I feel bad for the truck series. I don't know what's going on with Corey Heim's team. What is it, Trichicon?
Tricon.
That is a optics
Trichicon.
company.
It could be. I mean, you don't know. Whatever. His team. Like, how do you got one driver that can get 5 wins in a year, and then the other 2 nothing? Come on, man.
It is a little weird.
Well, I mean, I feel like if you could get a driver,
We've worked
that's-
in a garage. We kind of get it.
if you have, well, yeah. If you're racing on a budget, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on funding and who's bringing the money. Obviously, he's bringing money, so you can just buy. I mean, if you can just buy instead of you running used stuff, you can buy more new stuff. You're gonna run better. So it all depends. Like I would say coming into the season, a 3-car, 2-car team or truck team. You know, if you have, okay, this is the amount of cars we have, this is the amount of parts we have right now, based off of race winnings and sponsorship, like this is what we can bring in, right? If you can all of a sudden bring a driver in who's really good in Corey Heim, he's phenomenal. He's a great driver. He runs great on Sundays in a third part-time car. So, like, the guy's good. You can't deny that. It's not like he's running in the back. And then on top of that, if he brings money, then all of a sudden you have a good driver, and he brings money, which means you can buy better engines, or they don't really buy engines, they lease engines, but you can get better engines, and you can get, you know, instead of using a spring that's been used 5-6 times, you have one that's 1 or 2 times, and it's, you know, not wore out. You can
Right.
use shocks that aren't as wore out, and just stuff like that. You know, you're not running a belt that's been used 8 times. You're running a new belt on the motor, and, you know, a transmission that's been, you know, maybe refurbished. It all compiles together. You know what I mean? You could have a great you know, like you said, we've been in the shop. You could have a great $80,000 engine, but if the rest of the car isn't up to par, it's just not going to be great.
It's not going to show.
You'll
So,
you'll be flying down the speedway, or down the straightaway, but you'll be slow in the corner.
yeah.
You know,
I get it. I get it. It just sucks.
It's the other thing too. Like
it sucks for his
we
teammates. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
We've seen,
sorry
too,
for the 5 and 15 or 5 and 17. It's
Yeah.
Taylor Gray and Tompkins.
I'm not sure.
Something Tompkins.
Well,
Dean
the 17
Thompson.
is Hendrick's truck, isn't it?
Yes. No. Not. That's the.
It was one of the Gray brothers. I think it was Taylor.
Tanner
Gray.
or-
I don't know why I forgot Roger Cruz's number.
17, isn't it?
Raj is the 71.
71.
71. Okay. Well,
The other thing too,
close
like
enough.
let's say like okay, this track requires this setup. If you're running 3 cars, but you really only have enough stuff to like get the best setup for 2,
Yeah.
then you kind of make the third one work.
Sorry, boys.
yeah.
You know.
Like, I don't know what else to say. Sorry, boys. Good luck.
So the truck race ended up being the longest truck race to date at Pocono.
Yeah.
It's a fun
most
little
laps,
fact there.
Most laps. I think it was 10 laps over. I think it was 10 laps consistently more than the last races we've had at Pocono, which I think Pocono's only had 5 races in trucks.
It was longer from the get go, right? That wasn't overtimes.
No overtime.
Yeah, that was
just, hey,
from the beginning. They
we're gonna
extended it
extend
10 more
out.
laps. That was
Yeah.
fine because it was too short before.
No, I thought it was fine. I thought
Yeah.
it was a good race. In general, like we said, Coreyheim won. It was a good race.
Who was it? No, that's Xfinity. I'm thinking. Never mind.
I'm getting them mixed up too.
Yeah.
It's been 2 days.
A lot
Yeah.
of triangles.
Triangle.
So many turns.
So many turns.
So okay, let's move on to Xfinity. So Josh Berry ends up racing for the 15.
One other thing I did want to bring up about trucks is
Oh,
it did
go back.
rain in the last 10 minutes. They brought out the timer and said, listen, we are going to race to this time. It was like an hour and 10 minutes. Like we had plenty of time to race, and it just sprinkled in turn 2. They dried it off. They got rid of the clock. But again, NASCAR brought out the clock. I thought it was a good idea.
Clarity,
It
man.
I
gave
agree.
the race fan enough time to say, listen, I know I'm only sitting here for at least an hour,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
It wasn't are we going to go green? What's going to happen?
Should I like
We
because like
don't know.
the forecast? If you're following Twitter and social media,
Oh, it was gonna pour
you're
all
like
night.
you're like this race is over.
100%.
And they got it, the whole thing in. They didn't even hit the clock. They got the whole race in.
The whole thing. They put out the clock for maybe a 5-minute stint and said, listen, here's the clock. We're going
Well,
to go
remember
red
they
flag.
got the cars. They fired up. They did 1 lap and it rained again.
Yeah.
You know,
And
what I
they
mean?
counted
So,
the
like,
lap and they moved forward. So I don't know. I was a fan of it. People are like, oh, this is going to bring in timed races for NASCAR. I highly doubt it.
I'll
I
be
don't think
honest.
so.
Time races is not that big of a deal.
Somebody said.
I think if it's like
somebody said on
every race,
Twitter. I
it's a problem.
started a comment on Jeff Gluck's poll, and it started a whole debate on Twitter. Whoops.
That was pretty funny.
But one
Sorry,
guy
I didn't
said,
mean to jump us back into this. I just thought it was important to bring up.
No, that's fine.
one guy suggested, what if we did 1 timed road course a year? I was like, that's kind of fun.
That would be
Kinda
so
like
different.
it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it'd be
Like
different.
maybe like a Watkins Glen or Sonoma. We're gonna go 2.5 hours.
A boring one.
A time to walk
Coda.
Glen would be awesome.
Well, I mean, just think about what that would do with strategy.
It would change everything.
Yeah.
We're gonna stage 1 is gonna be at 45 minutes. Stage 2 is at an hour and a half, and then we run the last hour.
That'd be so.
Like that would be like I kind of like it.
It'd be different.
I like how NASCAR. We don't have the dirt race anymore. But we have short tracks, we have big tracks, we have road courses, we have street courses. Like
Intermediate.
it's so diverse. Like it's cool. Like I'm fine. Let's add another thing. Like we do everything. Formula One does this thing. IndyCar does this thing with a little sprinkle of oval. Like I kind of like how NASCAR's like, yeah, we do it all. Our cars can race everywhere, anywhere, anytime. I would be
That's a
totally
great
fine with
marketing.
doing like a
That's great marketing.
no, it is.
let's do a NASCAR endurance race. How long drivers? How long you think you can make it? You can make it
What is it,
5
Le Mans?
hours.
Le Mans?
Let's go
24 Cup
4.5 hours. No, I'm saying like, what if we do like a 4.5 hour endurance race?
You could do 6.
That's what we already do, Jake.
It's called the
Time.
Coke 600.
We
Well,
already do
I
it.
mean,
We
you
need
know
like
what I
an
mean?
8-hour endurance race.
But
But
it'd
it'd
be
be
a little bit
different.
more.
Like the Coke 6.
2 drivers,
yeah.
4 hours each.
a
We'll move
timed
forward.
road course race.
The Coke
but
600 has a lot of cautions though.
I
Like
think
a road
the-
course, I feel like you'd have less. Especially
think
like
the
Watkins
only
Glen with a lot of
issue-
runoff.
yeah.
The
Or
only
even
issue
Coda.
you run into a timed race is you get the casual fan who jumps in and jumps out, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, we're like 30
Different-
minutes to the
different
end,
rules.
and then jump in.
Yeah.
Timed
That's
road
what I'm
course
saying.
race.
That's the
Maybe
only
once
issue.
a year.
That's the only issue
The
I run
Roval
into.
in the playoffs.
No.
No.
Do not do that in the playoffs.
Toxic. No, but that's my issue when I watch the 24 hours of Daytona in Le Mans is I'm like, it's 24 hours. There can't be much that happens within the first.
Well, they also don't do the stages either.
No, they don't. But it's like, I really don't care unless it's the last 30 minutes. That's my only problem.
You could fix all this by just having a NASCAR class in the Rolex 24.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know why that hasn't happened yet.
We're already there.
It would be so dope.
Money would be my guess.
Money.
Every team
They got
in
it.
NASCAR, they're limiting everybody to 3 charters.
Your
Right.
fourth charter goes to this car.
No. Say you limited to 3.
You're forced to buy it.
Most teams are going to have
I
3.
just figured it out. Nope. You want a fourth team? You have to run a car in the race at the Daytona race. That's your
That's
fourth
not gonna
charter.
happen.
No, I know.
But imagine, I mean, like, it's
Rick
being
Rowe's like,
it's,
sign me up.
instead of like
Right.
a couple 4-car teams, a handful of 4-car teams, and then a bunch of 2-car teams or 1-car teams, like it's being pretty consistent. Like there's a lot of 2311 supposed to get a third, Trackhouse is supposed to get a third apparently from Furniture Row or whatever. So like if you have a handful, like okay, we're gonna do the endurance race, and this is your team. You're allowed to take to the endurance race. Your team. Take
Wow.
1 car, and your driver roster is your team. And maybe if you have a 3-car team, Hendrick has 4, then maybe you are allowed to get a Corey Heim or somebody from Xfinity. I mean, that would be, man, I would go to the Rolex for sure.
It'd be dope.
Yeah, I know.
Seeing a couple
Hear all
car
those
in there.
sports cars, zoo, zoo, and then, "Wah!"
It's weird because they
there
are.
we are.
They're obnoxiously high pitched, like wow, wow. It's almost like an RC car, like kind of like an RC car going by, and then you hear a cop car wah, 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 going into the turn, and it's like, oh, okay, there you are.
Pa, all the
Exactly.
backfires.
That's what happened at Le Mans. It's
Oh,
like
dude,
you
I
have
loved
like
it.
all the prototypes and all the cars, and then you just got the one stock car.
Dude, it was
They
great.
should have done it again.
The best
I don't
photo-
know why they missed out.
The
on
best
that.
photo of a Le Mans is like you see all these nice, nimble, small sports cars, and then there's like this giant stock car just like in the middle of the field. What's up, bro?
They call me
It's like-
Tank.
It's like the meme, like the guy she tells you not to worry about, and then this is the guy, and it's like the stock car is just massive. Like,
What's up, bro? Yeah,
that
no,
little engine
I
that
would
could.
love for them to
Chugga,
do something
chugga,
like that.
chugga.
What?
Like the little engine that could.
Cheeky.
What happened to your legs?
So let's get back to Xfinity and bring this back. So Josh Berry ends up running in the 15 car for AM Racing. Haley Deegan is officially, her and A&M have parted ways
Yeah,
officially.
that sucker.
Um,
Gone.
Don't know if that is her decision, their decision, or
Seems
and all-
very
and so-
mutual
It
from
does.
social media standpoints.
here's my opinion. Last week, Joey Logano made that car look good.
Yeah,
This week, Josh Berry exposed problems.
100%.
Like, so
I
now
know the
I'm like
feeling.
50-50. Like, oh, man, maybe it was Haley. Now I'm like, ooh, maybe it wasn't. So, like, you factor in there, like, Josh Berry and Joey Logano, they're going to know how to race around them guys that are just racing like idiots,
yeah.
you know? So, like, it's just kind of like, man, I don't know if it's, I don't know.
Well, the crew
Seems-
chief,
I would say- I would-
Haley's crew chief did come out and say, like, there's more than just the driver problems at A&M. And I think
Yeah.
he said on like Twitter or something like that. It was like, hey, like someone was, I don't remember the exact exchange, but it was something to the effect of like, hey, don't blame Haley. There's more to it. Something to that
Interesting. I
effect.
didn't hear that, but that's interesting.
I
I think this
heard a little
week
bit
was
about
like,
that.
I was leaning one way, and then this week I'm like, ooh, well, wait a minute.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
If you're
Sounds
so
not right
bad
here.
that you pull up the Pocono and you have a tire rub, like,
Yeah,
No
like start
contact.
one. Like, yeah, like what are we doing?
Yeah.
Twice. Cut
Yes.
a tire twice. Come on,
and
guys.
then they have some other mechanical problem too. There was something else.
It was a rough day.
Some kind of not electrical, but something else that happened.
It was a
and
rough
it's
day
kinda
for
like,
Barry.
Well,
I
if,
picked him,
if the
so.
car is like, if you're showing up rubbing tires on the green flag, like
What's your camera at?
maybe maybe the truck is not driving great.
Right.
You know,
I think it kind of plays down to you have two absolutely completely different tracks, right? You have a road course, which I think a road course is a little bit more forgiving because you got a lot of braking time, you got a lot of, off throttle time. Pocono is a fast track, You're going to get to 180, 185,
190 change.
190.
Yeah, down
I
the long
think
pond or down
you're
the long straightaway.
seeing
I don't know if it was
issues
the
in
top
that
speed.
aspect. Top speed.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the top speed, but the top speed I saw was Busher at 196.
That's today, but yeah, Xfinity was still similar.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
around there.
I mean,
Right around there.
similar speeds.
So I think it was the top speed, kind of like you said. There's more to it, but I think last week was a lot more forgiving for the team, and it showed Joey Logano's talent,
Yeah.
in the
I mean, you're talking a
his
two-time.
racecraft.
You're talking
What'd
a
you call it? Your
two-time champion.
racecraft?
Yeah,
right. It showed
car control.
right
racecraft.
versus Barry, who is good in an Xfinity car, right? But
Yeah.
realistically, what Barry had 2 years in an Xfinity car.
Yeah, something like that.
Joey Logano's been racing for 10 plus years. You're gonna see the difference.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, just to be clear, I got the quote. He was Joe Williams. It was her former crew chief, and he says, "I don't need my job back. A lot more than driver crew chief. Wasn't her fault. They made the change. Like the post said, goals don't align." So kind of came to her defense and saying, "Hey, like they made a change and it didn't work out." Talking about when
I wish I
think
heard,
this all comes down to Haley Deegan doesn't know how to give them the feedback when the car
Yes.
is really off.
yes,
That's what I think.
I wish they
she
would
doesn't
have
know how to
more
say.
Haley Deegan. What is it when they're relating to the spotter or the crew chief? Like, what is it? Audio?
Yeah.
Their communication audio. I think there needs to be more of a look at that. If you really want to deep dive into it, because that'll tell you a lot. While you're on the track.
Yeah.
If she's just constantly saying, "I don't know what's wrong with the car. I don't know what's going on," like we've heard other drivers say, all right, well, you're not telling what needs to happen. But if you're openly relaying, like, "Hey, this is where I'm at, and it's not getting better," well, how can you blame that on Deegan?
You think,
Well,
you
that
think
makes a
she
lot of
leaves
sense.
Ford?
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
What
Where's
if
she gonna go?
What if she get in with the Stuart Haas factory, or not Stuart
Where's
Haas?
she gonna
the
go,
Haas.
Jake?
No, what if she gets in with the factory Haas Xfinity team? Cole Custer's leaving. There's at least a seat available. Riley Herbst's rumored to leave. Now you have 2 seats available.
Ain't gonna happen, brother.
Yeah, well, she got that
Ain't gonna
Ford
happen.
money.
We'll see.
No,
Yeah.
Ryan
Well,
Preece,
okay,
come
so
on.
Ryan Sieg got a Stuart Haas car this
Ain't
week.
bad.
So what if they run a third car just to try it out, see how it goes?
Could be. I could see Sieg going forward. He's
No, I'm just Ryan Sieg runs for his own team, but they have an alliance with Stuart Haas now, soon to be Haas
is he
Factory.
in his own team?
Yes,
I didn't know that.
and he got a Haas prepared car for this week. He was running the same equipment as Cole Custer.
That's why you picked him.
Yeah,
Sneaky man.
yeah.
You sneaker.
But
Sneaky man.
what if that's a
I
possibility?
picked
and
Barry.
Ford-
It didn't work.
yeah, I almost lost too.
It was close.
But
That
like, what
restart
if I
saved
mean?
you.
So that tells me like they have a potential to provide a third team. What if they could do a third seat car provided by Stuart Haas and try it out?
Why not?
Ford still wants her around. I mean, they gave her a freaking baller Mustang, and like she has car deals, which
Oh,
you don't
yeah.
get to. You get to the Cup Series.
no.
The Mustang she had was amazing.
So like, I mean, maybe
Maybe.
where if she goes to Chevy, where would you go? Brandon Jones out, Haley Deegan in.
That man, he needs to disappear. He needs to.
Nah, he bring the money, bro.
He needs to Houdini
funded
his
Sandy
way out of
Smith's
this.
shenanigans.
I mean, she bring the money too.
You know
though.
who needs
Or
to
Sam Mayer.
Sam Mayer needs to disappear. That man had an enemy with everyone on the track this
Nah.
week.
That's why Brandon
why
Jones
he's
got to stick
Superman.
around. He's paying all them new body parts for Sam Mayer.
Right?
Oh, Sam, did you make a mistake? Sorry, bud.
No, I mean, like he takes out SVG. SVG was looking to have a real solid
that was
top 10.
sad. Did you see that?
Yes.
It was like 5 laps to go at SVG. I was like, Shane's in top 10.
I was
This
thinking
is
the same thing.
wild.
You can't
It's
take
not
any.
an oval,
No,
unfortunately.
there's nothing you can take from other tracks.
No.
So like that was a good day for them.
that was a great day. High speeds, low corners. He was doing great. And here comes Sam Mayer. I misjudged the corner. Suck it, man.
Bro,
Come on,
like
dude,
get
he
outta
misjudged
here.
SVG
by a
getting a
lot.
full wave right now. I'm winning 3 road courses in a row. Got dumped.
No.
Like,
Got
Yeah.
dumped on like 5 to go.
yeah, running top 10, probably like one of his first top 10s in an oval, like kind of straight up.
It's not an oval, but
Not an
yes.
oval, but yeah.
Whatever.
Is it a tri-oval?
Not a
Could
road
we
course.
consider this a tri-oval?
I mean,
The
technically,
tri-oval's on the back
The
end?
fifth corner.
I don't know.
the elusive
Anyway,
fifth corner.
sad for him. And then do you guys remember the whole issue that happened with him and Chandler Smith?
I did not.
I didn't see that. But Chandler Smith came over,
Oh,
and
he
got
was
in his
pissed.
window, and
Oh,
he was
yeah.
like, "You dumb, blah blah blah."
There was I watched the Fox thing on
I don't
Twitter.
remember
It was
the
a lot of beeps, bro.
There was a lot
I was
of
like,
beeps,
holy crap.
yeah.
Yeah, Sam Mayer was making a lot of friends.
On the contrary, though, Chandler Smith has a temper, and he
Yeah.
can't control it.
Bro, he
When
was
he gets
driving
hot and-
wild during the
When
race.
he gets hot and heated, you ain't stopping him. He's got like a Kurt Busch mouth. He's
Yeah.
he's mean. He's real mean.
I feel like the 81 was probably the best car on Saturday.
You think so?
He was so fast.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of good cars. I thought Byron was going to get
He
it
was
for
making
sure.
passes nobody else was. But
Yeah.
he couldn't get there, but he was fast.
Yeah.
But
I thought there was a solid 10 cars that could win that race.
Byron was another one that looked really good. Finished
Yeah.
third,
Finished third in the race. I mean, he
Solid
was
all day.
leading for a majority of the race.
which
Like,
I mean, you expect that car to be up there.
Sheldon Creed was generally up there.
They
which-
started talking about Sheldon Creed again, and I'm like, oh
Stop
gosh,
talking
here we
about this
go.
poor man.
He's gonna get second again.
Chandler Smith was up there. Who's in the 19 this week? It was not Armarola. I'll tell you that.
No, he's still.
no, that's
he's,
a
It wasn't
20.
Gibbs.
You're thinking the 20. It's
Who's in the 19?
Nemechek?
Ryan Truex?
Yes, Ryan Truex was up there in the mix. There was a solid, like I said, there was 10 cars that were like, these cars have a legit chance to win.
I heard a funny stat. Last week, 9 Cup guys in the Xfinity Series. This week, 2.
It is what it is, man. It's Pocono. So
Pocono versus
really happy
Chicago.
for really happy for Cole Custer. Finally, first win plus Ford's first win of the
That's
year
That's
in
wild.
Xfinity.
That's wild.
But they only have 4 cars, and Cole Custer's your best chance.
Who won
Yeah.
the truck race?
Heim time, bro.
yeah.
Come on, man.
I was wondering if
Crazy.
Ford swept the weekend, but no, they did not.
Nah, they got close. So all right, so that moves us into kind of talking about the Cup race, which we already kind of did. Obviously, Ryan Blaney gets his second win of the year. Nothing crazy, just went out and executed. Had a really solid day. I don't think there was any crazy strategy that they did anything crazy to get it. They just had
Did
a
he
fast
grab
car.
2 tires at the end? Does anyone remember?
I think he did.
I
I think he
did.
grabbed 2 tires.
I think
'cause-
almost everybody in the top like 12, 13 were on.
There
two
was
tires.
Yeah.
Hamlin
Chase
and
Elliott-
Elliott. I
Chase
think
Elliott was like the
Hamlin and
yeah,
Elliott. I think were
Elliott
the two
ended
up
up-
there.
yeah.
which makes sense
You're
because
right. You're right. There was a couple on 4, but
Yeah, there was not
but
many.
not many.
Yeah,
because Logano, he's like prime for like winning a race off of 2 tires.
Yeah.
And yeah, Blaney figured it out. He's like,
Yeah.
oh, I can just do 2 tires and move
Yeah.
forward.
Yeah, some people in the top 10 did, but they were in like they ended up in the lower
Falling
top
down a
10s
little
'cause
bit
they
toward the
couldn't-
end.
Yeah, like because I picked Reddick and he took
2
4.
tires.
No,
Oh,
he
4
took
tires?
4,
Oh,
and then he was first off pit road, but then ended up
kind of
going
falling
to
down.
6.
you
Yeah.
know, I didn't feel like Reddick had it this week. Like he was generally
23-11, not good at all. Well, Bubba
No.
started the race terrible.
But yeah, he was absolutely
Terrible.
trash.
I mean, that
Yeah.
car was not even
Reddick
close.
finished 6th, so that's
Did he?
That's good. I
Yeah,
mean, they
decent.
capitalized on their day, which is
Yeah.
kind of not what they normally do.
yeah.
You know, they made the most out of a. I don't. It's interesting we say that. Jason actually said in there, he's like, "What's going on with 23-11 speed?" I don't know.
I don't know,
They
yeah.
are
kinda
in a
slow
lull here in the summer. They have not been super fast.
Bubba-
And Pocono is a traditionally
Bubba
very
wasn't
good track
too
for
bad.
23.
I would
Bubba
say
was,
the absolute
what, 10th?
opposite for 23-11. I
Yeah.
mean, Tyler Reddick's finished second.
They finished 2
the
top
last 2
10.
races in
Yeah.
a row. How can you say you don't have speed? And now
Yeah,
it's
but
a
last
6?
week was on strategy. Before
Okay,
before
you
that
got good
whole
strategy, but
okay,
a slow
hold on.
car, you still staying in second? No.
Okay, well, Bell should have been way ahead of him.
Bell should have won.
I'll give you that.
SVG
Yeah, I'll give
should
you
have
that.
won.
But it was
He
still
should have been top 5 best.
top 5. Exactly.
But
That's
that's
just what I was
because of
going
the
to say.
strategy he fell on.
But
If he
he's
was
still-
if he was
So
early in
3
the
weeks
race,
in
he
a row,
wasn't.
top 5, top 5, top 5. That's
Where
speed.
did he finish at? Where did we race before Chicago?
North Wilkesboro. no,
No.
I don't
No.
remember.
Definitely
it was,
not.
It was a weird one, right?
Nashville.
Nashville.
Where did he
Yeah,
finish then?
Second.
I don't think so.
He beat Logano won, right?
Nagano won.
He got
I'm looking
second.
it up. This is Reddick. We're looking
Or
at
third. Was
Yeah.
it third?
Well,
it was third.
Reddick was third. Yep.
Zane Smith got
Zane
second.
Smith was second.
Logano first.
Yep.
Listen, I'm just saying I think 23-11 is
Okay,
just
maybe it's just Bubba that's bad.
stagnant. I think they are comfortable or they're where they are. They're consistent. They got their win.
Reddick's
but they're
already pretty
not-
much locked in.
Reddick's
locked
had
in,
a
I'll
good,
give you that.
a really good season.
But he's not getting any bonus points finishing third. You know, he needs either stage wins or race wins. He's
Well, you
not
still
getting
get
those.
points based off of where you finish in the regular season.
Right, but you're not getting any
not a
playoff
lot.
points.
You're not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
You're not getting your
a lot.
playoff
Yeah.
points, which I think that's
But-
hurting him. He needs to either capitalize on your stage points or your race wins.
Well, today it was a Toyota issue. I mean, like they had a good day overall, but just like typical Toyota, like they'll start off good and then kind of a couple cars will just really have issues, like Ty
Yeah.
Gibbs. You know, like we're saying like, oh,
Poor
it's either
Ty
going to be
Gibbs.
Ty Gibbs or Truex that wins today.
Yeah.
Ty
You're all
Gibbs.
pretty confident about that, and I mean, Truex still ran a great race, but Gibbs just kind of like
Well, his motor blew.
something happened with his car and just
Sloppy.
It happens, But I feel like
That thing didn't just blow. That thing blew.
That particular kind of issue happens more with Toyota
It does.
than it does with other teams.
It's
So,
kinda
I
weird.
mean, that's just
It is a little weird that it ends up kind of being toward Toyota. Let's see. Talking about this race, I don't know if there was a whole lot much else to talk
Chastain
about.
wrecked.
That
sad.
big wreck, yeah.
There was Chastain. Unfortunately, that wasn't a big wreck, but unfortunately took out
Trash.
our boy. That sucks. And then Corey LaJoie decided to become, just decided to come in like a wrecking ball and take out Kyle
You
Busch.
mean Chick Hicks
Yeah, right.
taking out the king?
Yeah, good sugar, good sugar.
Who do
I
y'all,
gotta finish last to you again, old man.
Yeah.
Wah.
realistically, who do y'all put that on?
Corey.
Corey
Corey
LaJoie or
LaJoie.
Kyle
Corey
Busch?
LaJoie.
Corey LaJoie.
Kyle Busch threw a ridiculous block, though.
He did.
Not a ridiculous. He threw an aggressive block. I don't say ridiculous. He threw an aggressive block.
But the block was over.
Where's LaJoie supposed to go?
Where are you supposed to go?
Behind him.
Behind him.
But LaJoie is already on the inside. So shouldn't Kyle Busch move
Kyle
up?
had a
But there's no
solid
room
lane.
to move up.
Kyle, you gotta lift. I'm sorry. That's what it is. Or you wreck the whole field. I mean, that's what
I mean,
you
they
do.
did. He did. So.
So he
Well,
chose
why
what
you-
he wanted to choose. I mean, I don't.
I think
like-
Kyle Busch kind of put him in a bad spot.
I mean, he did.
I think LaJoie put himself in a bad spot.
I
What do you
I don't
think?
I don't think he should have just dumped him. But if they go in there, they're already
We've-
4 wide,
we've
at
seen
least
this.
maybe 5 wide. You're never gonna make it through the corner.
No,
But you know if you're gonna throw a
But I
block,
think
but not have
Kyle
any
Busch was
room.
more concerned about him running up and wrecking. I'll just use 8 cars here and just run everyone up and pass, and everyone else wrecks.
But if-
Instead, he just decided to wreck them all and just keep going.
No, but if you are throwing a block, a very aggressive block at that, but there's no room to get out of the way if you decide to bail out on it, like you kind of put yourself in that spot.
That's
in my
kind of how I
opinion.
feel.
It's like Kyle Busch, yeah, he threw himself in that position.
Like he came with such a
Yeah.
head of steam. Like, what are you gonna do? I mean, LaJoie was.
So you wanted Kyle Busch just to just hang high, let Corey LaJoie get the bottom, and see what plays out?
better
You
than
get wrecked.
crashing.
You get wrecked.
It's better than crashing.
You
He
get
was
wrecked.
gonna wreck either way.
No, they weren't.
No.
Yeah,
You
Corey
could go.
LaJoie was gonna run.
You could go
so
3
deep.
wide.
Nah, he was gonna run
Oh my
so
gosh.
deep. He
No,
was gonna
they're-
run up and wreck
No.
everyone up.
I don't think so. They did that move all day, and Kyle Busch just said, "Nah, fam, block." That didn't work.
Sounds like a Kyle Busch thing.
I mean, I feel bad for Kyle Busch. He keeps getting wrecked. Like, I mean, y'all know, like, I'm a big. I mean, you want to call it a hater? I don't really hate him, but like,
Love to
I
hate.
I love to hate Kyle Busch. Like, it's just like, I mean, here we go. DJ got a replay. I don't know, man. In my
He
opinion,
blocks right there. He stops, and then he comes up.
but where's he supposed to go? He's
Yeah, he
almost to
doesn't
the
have
yellow
any-
line. Where's he
doesn't
gonna
have any
go?
room.
Just run on the apron and wipe out half the field because
He
Kyle Busch
throws a-
throws a freaking bad
He
block?
throws a block and then stops. I'm sorry. In my opinion, LaJoie could just lift and still be right
Nah,
behind
it's
him.
a race, bro.
Yeah.
You throw a trash block, you're gonna get wrecked.
I think the only
Shame on you.
Tons of room still down.
Where? He's on the apron.
the
Well,
only
at
thing
that
that
point,
saves
yes.
LaJoie's day.
'Cause the
DJ, the
move's
corner
clear.
is going like this. Where are you gonna go? I
Hey,
got
can
you.
you
You're
describe it
inside.
for the
Kyle
podcast?
Busch.
He's
Kyle
not to
Busch
his
didn't even
inside.
throw the block. Kyle Busch missed the block. He didn't miss the block because Corey LaJoie got to his inside. That's
Okay.
why he got spun out.
Hold on.
Oh man, we're about to go down. I'll
So
fight
right
you. I
here,
swear to
he
God.
throws a block.
Miss. He missed the block.
No, he
Corey
didn't.
LaJoie's
Corey
already to the
LaJoie
inside.
hits his
How do you
back.
spin to the inside if you did a successful block?
Man.
Because
One
he
week.
hit him in the back on the corner. What else is going to happen?
One
So
week.
that means you missed the block and the dude's already on the inside. You missed the block. You have to give this man room.
You have to
Came
relinquish
down,
the
and he
position.
came back
No, you
and
do
came
not.
up into him. You
Yeah,
don't
you
have
do.
to.
He's
Nope.
on the apron.
Listen,
He's not on the apron,
Oh
and
my
he's
God.
still well
I'm
ahead
not-
of him.
Yes,
It's
they could
Corey's
have
job.
tried to make it before
It's
wide.
Corey's
They're
job
never
to
going to
take
make
care
it.
of him.
this is not Daytona. We can
No.
lift. We don't lift at Daytona.
There's no way they make it through there 4 wide.
But whose fault is that? Corey is making
Kyle
so
Busch threw an aggressive block and should have given him more
Okay,
room for the
Corey
apron.
Busch or Corey
Okay,
Busch.
so
Corey Busch.
if they run in and Corey LaJoie enters the track
Yes.
on the actual yellow line, he will never make the corner.
No, he won't. He wasn't going to make the corner anyway. But my point
Exactly.
is,
He was gonna
Kyle-
wreck 'em all.
Kyle
so
Busch
at that point,
is
Kyle
making-
Busch has not given him room.
Kyle
Either way,
Busch-
he was going to wreck them all.
Kyle Busch made an
Corey
aggressive
LaJoie
block.
was going to wreck everyone.
No, hold on.
matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
Kyle Busch makes an aggressive
It's Kyle-
block,
to
but
me, it's Kyle
Corey
Busch's
makes
fault.
an aggressive
No,
pass.
Corey LaJoie.
I was on Corey LaJoie, and
the
then I saw
NASCAR
it.
unspoken rule is if I'm there, I made it to your inside, you have to give me room.
Did he make it to him inside?
Okay, hold on.
Because everything
Okay,
I
who
saw.
got wrecked and who continued the race?
Okay,
Watch-
what if
thank
I
you.
run
Watch-
into the
watch
rear
where
of
Chase
you
Elliott
because I
is.
choose not to
You
lift?
shouldn't be so slow.
And I
Chase Elliott
use
is in
you
the
as
same.
brakes.
He's in the same lane as Kyle. Chase Elliott.
I think
is.
Corey LaJoy
And
should get a
Chase
fine.
Elliott makes it through.
$50,000.
Same lane. He makes it through just fine and is 5 wide back there. Chase Elliott
just
gets
fine,
through.
right?
Well, there's a wreck in front of him,
Okay,
Jake.
all right.
Like,
Just saying.
but he still made it through.
Chase Elliott's a better
My
driver.
point
I
is, did Kyle make an aggressive block? Yes. But I think Corey made an even more aggressive attempt to pass when he shouldn't have.
But it's a race.
My thing is
I agree.
But
That's
it's
why
not the
Kyle
last
made
lap.
the block. It's a race.
but
my thing
It's a
is
race.
the
But he
man
made a
the
bad
man,
block,
the
though.
man
NASCAR
is
heat,
there
you're
on the
telling me
inside.
you
He
wouldn't
made a
try to
bad
block
pass,
Jake
bro.
coming up on you? It's a race.
I've seen you race. Don't even answer that.
look,
Jeff,
I'm
Jeff
not.
would have tried to get us on the apron in the middle of the corner. No,
I'm wide- I'm
my
wide
thing
open.
is,
How?
you gotta give that. You have room to move up, Kyle. You have room.
He did. He did have room to
He
move
have
up.
room. He already got to your inside. He got
could
you.
have
bro.
moved up.
He got you. That's my point of it. But I mean, Corey LaJoy definitely dumped him,
Yeah.
clear as day.
Yeah.
But at the
Corey
same point,
LaJoy
I
is a menace.
felt like he had no choice. He was if he goes down there on the apron 4 wide,
Yeah.
Corey LaJoy is going to be the one that spins out.
Correct.
So
Yeah,
you
Jake's gotta be
either
convinced.
spin out because this guy made an aggressive move, or you remove the guy who made an aggressive move.
Do you know
Yeah.
who Kyle Busch wrecked? The 47. Rumor is that Ricky Stenhouse was at his hauler at the end of the race.
It was all
months
part
ago.
of the plan.
He's back.
It was all part of the plan. No,
Corey LaJoy's just
I-
reflaming that fire.
my problem is I put that on LaJoy just being LaJoy, and LaJoy has a history
LaRec?
of doing very reckless
So wait,
things.
we're talking about a gentleman who has not won a truck race, an Xfinity race, or a Cup race, and somehow has a Cup deal.
Multi-year-
versus a gentleman
multi-year
who is
Cup deal.
a 2-time champion in the Cup Series, over 60+ wins, over 100 wins in trucks, and probably 50 something in Xfinity.
But he's never won a 500.
Well, neither has LaJoy. So
I'll just say this.
your argument's invalid because neither
Obviously,
has Brad.
satire. I mean, you make a good point. I mean, there was definitely a lack of respect for a 2-time champion. There's only 2 of them in the field right now.
Look,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That's a fair. I
LaJoy
gotta
wrecked
give you
him.
that.
Let's just leave it. Like
LaJoy
LaJoy wrecked him.
wrecked
Can you say
Yes,
that one more
But
time? I want to hear it
Kyle
again.
could have prevented it.
Agreed.
For
but so could have LaJoy.
But yes, but like, okay, here's the
Anyone
thing.
can prevent
if
it
you
if they
come
lift.
down, but bro, you can't just come down on people like that.
Man,
So-
this guy Sawyer, DJ, are matter right.
to a
Yes.
strip club.
Thank you, Sawyer. I agree. Told you this guy was all right.
Oh my
Wait, was that the RFK fan?
Who are
Sawyer?
you-
Sawyer?
Oh yeah, that's my
right.
boy. Brad did great.
Kyle blocked an unnecessary start and spot. Come on, man. I guess I'm alone on this island. Nice to know our fan base is a bunch of Kyle Busch haters.
Keep going. Sink Jake.
I love this. Kyle Busch is an angry man and made an unnecessary block.
Jake, are you
You're also-
commenting on yourself?
You're also not
No,
wrong.
I just love this guy. He's just
That's-
like Kyle
that's his
Busch is an
burner.
angry man.
He's an angry.
I like
son.
Kuzman. It's like, okay, they're both at fault. Yes.
See, Kuzman, if he's on the corner panel, then he needs to be given room. Thank you, Kuzman. Only sensible race fan we have here.
I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat though. Like that, like I said, Kyle, like LaJoy wrecked him, but Kyle has so much experience, he should know that.
So
Sawyer
you
backed you
should
up.
know.
We're talking about 2-time champ versus a winless back marker. I mean, he ain't wrong.
yeah. No, I think like because my thing is like Kyle made the block, but then he stops. He doesn't continue to block him. He blocked, and to me, that's like, hey, get off.
No, he didn't continue. He just ran him down, and then
stayed there.
if LaJoy tries to make that stick, he spins out.
Yeah.
1,000%.
So
We saw this with
basically-
AJ Allmendinger on Saturday.
He basically put him in a
AJ
position
made
where
a similar move, tried to make it stick, spun out, and wrecked himself.
yeah.
Tore up the car. So I mean,
Shit
You're never gonna
happens.
make
It's a
that.
race. I don't know what to tell you.
I love it. I mean,
I don't
It is
know.
what it is. That's
Anyway.
what we're here for.
So, all right, moving on to our NAS news section. This is our weekly news. Obviously, we kind of talked about it already. Haley, gosh, I
Healy,
can't talk.
Healy.
Haley Deegan. Haley Deegan.
Think she has Heelys?
That's perfect.
Haley.
She's out of the
New
15.
sponsorship deal.
And she's starting to do some tests and stuff. It was a test or seat fittings in Indy. I missed that part.
I think she just went as just a honored guest and got to run a few laps in an Indy car.
which is pretty wild.
Is that
That-
true? I didn't even hear about that.
She 100% did IndyCar runs.
Yeah.
You didn't
Yeah.
hear about this?
no.
Man, Jake he's been MIA for the
Been
last few
working,
days.
bro.
Under
Yeah.
a rock.
So she ran a few laps, came out very positive. I can't remember who it was for. I want to say it was for the 15 team. Raheem or Reem, whatever. But she said, "Wow, these cars have an amazing level of grip. This is awesome." And he's like, "Oh yeah, isn't that cool?" She's like, "Yeah, who knows? I might try to switch over." Kind of. Who knows?
I really want to
Ain't
take a
gonna work.
picture of this.
We'll see. You know,
I
Talk
don't know.
to Jimmy first.
Yeah, Jimmy. But
Yeah.
it was on an oval. It's a track. I think she's ran right. Iowa. They ran at Iowa in Xfinity, right? Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Jake's actually
think so.
drinking a
So
beer
anyway,
on
so
camera.
she ran a few. Just real quick synopsis. She jumped out. It was a 30-second video. She, wow,
Yeah, it
this is
wasn't
great,
anything-
Super happy.
Wasn't anything serious.
But I mean, hey, you go from I have a full-time Xfinity ride to the next week I'm doing a test run in Indy. That's a little sus. So keep your ears out. Keep
it's
your eyes
interesting.
out.
There's,
See what happens there.
I think she'd be a lot better off. Try to get with Stuart Haas, something like that, man. Do something like that. She's very marketable.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, she could probably bring in the funding to get a decent ride. Even like all the Cup guys that have made it all say, go run part-time Xfinity in a really good ride. Don't run the whole season in a medium ride. Get a good ride, run part season,
her problem
show
is
you can
Ford.
run really well, and then go from there.
Her problem
Yeah,
is
because
Ford.
wasn't the one time she did run, the first time she ran Xfinity, it was a really good
with
ride.
a good car and ran great.
It was like top 15
Yeah.
or something.
Yes,
Her first
for
time
her
ever.
First time.
Something that was interesting too was I was listening to a little bit of the, I don't know if it was on the actual download or not, Dale Jr.'s download, where he was talking with TJ about her. And he made a comment or something about how if you look at Haley and her career in NASCAR, she basically started during COVID time where you didn't have a lot of practice. You didn't have a lot, first
That's
laps.
a fair point.
First,
I didn't
first
listen
laps,
to that.
First
Yes.
laps on the track were live laps. There's no time to, hey, how does it feel? Let's change the car up. Let's try this. Let's do this. There was none of that. So some of it may be that too. She's only been around for what now, 4 years total? That's not a ton of time.
You counting trucks too?
I'm counting just everything.
Yeah, 4 or 5 if you count ARCA even.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So I mean,
she showed a lot of promise on ARCA and a good equipment. I think she can do it. It's just she's got a. What's bad about her situation? She's like in like the top, or let's just say she's running 15th to 25th. Like it's all full of shenanigans back there. Like it's not good. It's not good clean racing.
Right.
You can't. I mean, you're constantly door banging and wrecking each other. I mean, where do all the wrecks happen in Xfinity? In that window.
Near DGM.
You know? Yeah, that's really rough, bro. They got
rough,
spun
man.
out again at Pocono, bro.
Freaking
People
sucks.
just run into them.
Yeah.
It's so
I
trash.
think Blicky finished like 31st.
They just got to get like 5 spots ahead of the people who
Weatherman's
obviously
doing
have no
okay.
brakes.
Weatherman's
No,
like,
Balicki had a battery issue.
oh, did
sucked,
he?
yeah.
He was way back there. I think Weatherman's
Weatherman's the one
okay.
that got run over during that caution. During the AJ spin.
Sucks, man.
Somebody, no brakes, whatever, just run them over. Like, Jesus, man. I feel like I'm in iRacing over here.
He just walk around strap. He needs to drive strap because watch yourself driving next to me. Like
I was like, what kind of strap you talking about for a minute?
bro, something to say,
He's
get
talking
off my
about the
ass.
strap.
It's just
Someone
they
say,
need
get
to do
away
like
from
some
me.
speed racer stuff. Put some like spikes in the back bumper so if they run into them, they pierce the radiator or something.
There's something.
I mean, how many times is that this year? 5 times. There's been a
Bro,
wreck in front of them.
if
They got out of the
not
gas and
more.
missed the wreck and got dumped.
Got dumped.
Yep.
Ridiculous,
Arca
bro.
brakes.
There's
no,
no
it's
spotter
straight up
behind
Arca
him.
brakes.
Yeah.
It's not even like, like I would be unbiased and say like, he got on the brakes a little too hard and unnecessary. It's not that. Like
No.
it's just enough to avoid a wreck and get dumped.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I do feel like there's some merit to the
That's
whole Haley thing, though. That she's got like that potential, and she's like could be potentially on that like
If she
hopping
can
that
get in the
curb,
right
but-
ride with the right people,
Because
I, think she
I
probably
remember
has
when
it.
we were at the truck race at Daytona one time and we were listening to her on the radio, I kind of felt like, I mean, you kind of brought it up, but I kind of felt like her crew chief was just kind of keeping her
That
down.
was
just
TJ.
like,
We're listening
yeah,
to
we're
TJ.
just like, oh, just run this line, just run the low line the whole time.
That was
you
the
know,
first
whatever.
race, though.
It's like,
first, like, not her
but-
first truck race, but first, like, super speedway. Yeah, just chill. Let them wreck. Just stay here on the inside. Just chill. Stay in this spot. I mean, that's all good. You know what I mean? You don't want her out there making aggressive moves and stuff like that. Like, that's all fine. But, Yeah, I don't know. I feel like she has the potential. I hope she doesn't leave NASCAR, man, because I
Yeah.
honestly,
NASCAR needs
IndyCar,
her.
there's just not as much
Growth.
like growth as well. I was thinking there's not like the multiple series to develop a driver there. Not in the same way you can NASCAR. Not with as many eyeballs on you.
Yeah.
Really?
Like
You think so?
NASCAR or IndyCar has the NXT series. How many viewers do you think they get compared to Truck or Xfinity?
100,000 maybe.
Yeah,
It's not much.
If that, I mean, I don't.
So
watch
like,
them.
I mean, is that
I'll
where
tell
you're
you
gonna go to try to develop? Because like, if she goes straight to IndyCar, it's not gonna be good.
No.
It's too competitive. It'd be like her, like, oh, I finished.
She better side
I
with
finished.
Roger Penske.
I'd be like her, like,
I don't know what else.
I left the NTX series. I'm gonna come run Cup. Like that is not gonna work.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Also, I don't see IndyCar in a sense growing. I don't have a lot of news about them, but I don't know what new tracks they're going to. I don't know what their schedule is for next
can
year.
we talk about the Iowa deal?
I don't know anything that's going on there when I know NASCAR is growing, trying to add more road courses in.
New markets.
Hey,
different
this,
markets.
this year, Pocono was the 7th sellout of the year.
Wild.
Obviously, they've reduced grandstands over the years, but still, it sounds good on paper.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Pocono, all suites, all grandstands, all
Camping.
camping,
It makes
completely
sense.
sold out.
It's the
Everything.
best. It's the best race of the year.
I feel like NASCAR is definitely on an upward trend for over the last 5-6 years.
I feel like TV numbers
triangle,
probably
bro.
not. Well, kind of a little bit,
Yeah.
but like the at track.
Oh,
is
yeah.
by far up. Like there's no question it's up. I mean, I can remember 3-4 years ago there was no sellout.
remember you were talking to your dad a little while ago, and you were telling him like, look, like when we go to the race now, it's like people our age. It used to be
It's
like
gotten way
like
younger.
what 10 not even 10 years ago.
20 years.
Yeah, but
oh,
no, I'm
sorry.
saying-
Go
yeah,
ahead.
it's like 10 years ago, it was all people that were 20, 30 years older
Yes.
than me, like and
Yes.
stuff like
when
that.
when we started, everyone was older than us. We were the young guys, and now it's kind of flipped.
Well, we also have gotten older, but
Back in my day, Jimmy Johnson used to be in the
But
40s.
more people in their more people in their
remember Junior
20s,
Johnson.
more people in their 20 and 30. Like I'd even say it's just more diverse across the
Remember Casey
board,
Kate?
yes,
ethnically and age wise.
yes,
Like it is across the board.
yeah. It's not typical old white rednecks,
No,
anymore. It's literally just a little bit of everybody.
I took
It's the same stat. It's just younger.
I took a friend of mine. He's Spanish, and he was kind of nervous because he kind of heard bad things, and he went and he had the most incredible time.
It was wild.
He was
It's
like,
so much fun.
This is not what I've heard. This is not what I expected.
Yeah.
This was incredible. Everything was so nice and so awesome, and nobody was like what people have said.
Who are
and,
you?
so
What are you
I
doing
took him.
here?
I took him in February. So he hit me up yesterday. He was like, "What do I got to do to buy 9 tickets? I'm bringing all the family for August in Daytona." Like, you know what I mean?
Let's go.
I'm like, that's what I'm trying to say, bro. Like, that's what it is, you
Yeah.
know. So I feel like we're gonna be on an upward trend.
Yeah,
Here real soon.
Your
if you,
sales
if
rep
you
must
Maybe
are,
love
hard to
you.
give 400 tickets or
Your
400
sales
sales
rep
tickets.
must
if
love you.
if you're out there and you want to
Right.
get friends or whatever involved in NASCAR, take them to a race. Take
That's
them
it.
to a race and
You go one
explain
time,
it to
man, you
them.
get hooked.
And
Actually,
it's
so
over.
To be
RG
honest, just as long as it's not a day race, like try to find an evening race or a night race. Much
you
better.
got to be a hardcore fan to go to a July midday race.
Start in July, like, and they don't allow umbrellas. So
Remember the
just buy a
first
big
race I
hat.
took you to?
Oh God,
Do you remember?
which one? The one?
It was rain delayed 400 on
Yes.
Sunday afternoon.
yes,
It was so
poured.
freaking hot in July.
and it poured.
I was so mad.
Even the August race.
Wasn't that
they-
when
even them
Almirola
moving it
won?
back.
Almirola won.
You
Yeah.
do get
I
very
was so
emotional
mad.
when it
Bro,
rains.
even-
You're
I
like,
hate
oh,
rain
it's
delay
raining
wins.
again. You're losing.
I
it.
hate. No,
it's
I
a
don't
lot
mind- I
better
don't
now
mind
with the
rain.
RV for
I don't-
sure.
I
You're
don't
like, oh,
mind
okay,
rain
we'll go
delay.
take a nap.
Races.
You should have heard
as long
him.
as we can see the whole race. I hate
should
a
have-
rain delay win.
He was so mad about this one because Almirola won, and they there was a rain shortened race. He's like, they just did this because it's the 50th anniversary of the 43's last win, and so that's the reason they called it.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is dumb. And just go the whole drive home.
y'all think
You
that-
should have heard him
y'all
when we
think
drove
that-
home when Justin Haley won the 400.
Oh.
Bro, we were getting off the 429 onto the turnpike, and he's losing. I knew they were going to call that race.
I was so
This
mad.
no-name hack freaking won the race. This was Kurt Busch's race to win. This is ridiculous.
Look, man, I'm just trying to
You
tell
were
you, y'all
losing
y'all
it.
thought the
I'm like,
tinfoil
yo,
hat
Jake.
started on the podcast.
Listen, I didn't even know who Brad Keselowski was at that point. Like,
Yeah.
easy.
Hey, RG, he's going to be there in August, first time.
So
Oh.
RG is a friend of mine.
Fan zone and everything.
I think
So, awesome.
I think he came over here once. They had like a big event with church and everything, and my wife was there, like with all her people or whatever.
You
And he
indoctrinated
came.
him?
I'm
The
pretty
paddle
sure.
and everything.
Yeah, the paddle. I don't know about that. Hey,
It's like a sorority.
but me and Nate were
that
over
just
watching
me?
the truck race. Yeah, don't stop. We don't talk about that.
Focus. We're trying to tell a story.
Sorry.
But yeah, we came
JK.
over. We watched, and I think I had the bumper. I'm not sure if I had the bumper yet or not, but I had the diecast and
Is that
everything
what you
up.
call it?
And then,
Stop, Matt.
like a month later, he started watching the podcast and started watching the races, and now homeboy is so deep. He showed me his diecast collection. He has like 30 diecasts. I'm like, dang, bro, I got like 10. Like,
Can we borrow some? Can we lease them?
I'm not a real
Can we
fan.
release them?
We might need a few
That's
diecasts.
wild.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We're tired of the 88.
Anyway, the August race is definitely brutal, just like the July race.
And
Not
last
as
year
bad,
was
but
amazing.
it's
Bring a
hot.
poncho.
It's
Last year we were
brutal.
lucky because there was a hurricane off the coast.
Yeah, it was 80 degrees. It was amazing.
I remember Jake and Matt being up in the stands last August for the race, and then it started. I'm like, man, it's really hot out, and I'm like, ooh, let me just walk into RV real quick and get a nice cold drink and just like sit in the AC for a minute.
We was
you
up
get
there-
stuck
we was
in
up-
there,
we was
man.
up there roasting.
Yeah, I know. It's that race, and then I remember the hottest race was one of the ARCA races. When we sat out there, it was like noon.
Oh
look,
my
look.
God.
I don't remember. The
RG, calm down, bro.
60 diecast? Oh my god!
Bro, you need to calm down.
This man really bought the whole field twice.
I've created a monster.
I can't believe you've done this.
I can't believe you.
Jake's
That's
over
wild.
here with his Krusty Krab. Here's my one.
Okay, in other news, Rodney Childers officially signs with Spire to crew chief the 7 car for Corey LaJoy.
Jake, what's your take on
60.
that?
I'll be straight up. I totally missed this call last week. I missed it.
Just like Kyle Busch in his block.
Well, I was gonna say something else.
Stop.
Stop.
But no, in all honesty,
Yikes.
something I didn't consider at all. And as soon as they announced it, I was like, "Ooh, that makes sense." Spire got money.
Spire got money.
Yeah.
You want Rodney Childers? You're gonna have to pay money.
100%.
Yeah.
And
As soon as I saw the announcement, I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
I didn't even
They're
think
just
about
throwing
it.
around 40 mil like it's nothing. So
Well, I thought about it. I was like, he's going to Spire, and then I saw Brett Griffin posted a thing of someone like just throwing money, and I was like, that makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense.
That's
probably
it.
their-
They
that's probably their
spent
lunch
40
money,
million
bro.
on a charter. That makes a
Spire
lot
got
more
so
sense.
much. Spire got so much money. They really let this man start early.
no, that's actually a real thing. They did let Rodney Childers. He's already been in the in the Spire shop.
Do you think Michael McDowell started early too?
No,
Are you sure?
no.
He's kind of trashed today.
You know?
Hey, come on. Let's
You
really
get
jump in.
nothing. Nothing.
All right. So that was.
We're running parts from the first year next gen for you, Michael.
Sorry,
I don't
bro.
care. 40 billion talks.
That's true.
Oh my god.
Also, rumor is schedule might be coming out in the next coming weeks.
Supposed to.
We've been
Next
hearing
week or
that for
two.
weeks.
That's every year, right? We
They
get
say
like
this-
weekly updates. Schedule should come out in a couple weeks, but it does sound like it's all solidified.
You think
pretty
charters are
close.
done?
Done?
Yeah. If
That's
schedule's coming out, you think charters
no,
are
no,
done?
No, that's two different deals. The schedule is all done with the TV partners. Has nothing to do with the teams.
Right, right.
Nothing.
No, I get
teams
that.
have no say, no pull, no nothing.
They just aren't releasing it.
Yeah, the teams get to see it, but they don't. I mean, they have.
Well, I
like,
mean, like-
let's say there's like a pie, right? NASCAR and TV own 95% of that pie. Teams have a 5% input, which is basically nothing.
Yeah, but my point is, like, are they maybe just
I should
holding
say
it back?
NASCAR TV tracks because tracks also have a.
Are
say.
they maybe just holding it back just so that way they don't like ruffle
The
some
schedule?
feathers? with,
Well,
the
so
TV
here's
deal?
the deal. So Mexico is all but confirmed.
Yeah.
Bowman Gray will be the spot of the Clash, which is
I
wild
think
to
they
me.
paid in pesos.
Huh?
What's the peso payout?
It'd be what, 20 million?
I don't know.
20 billion pesos.
And then the rumor is that it sounds like the Montreal track might still be
Really?
I
as an
believe it.
option.
I believe
Maybe
it.
That'd be
that
interesting.
that's not very likely, but it was still. I don't know. I've heard two different things. I've heard that it's between Mexico and Montreal, but then I've heard also that it could be Mexico and Montreal, which then that to me is like, what 2 dates are we losing? Lose a Richmond, that's fine. I'm good with that. Lose both Richmonds almost. Anyways, but I don't know
Sprinkle
what
water on
two
it.
tracks you give away. I don't know. I really don't.
Yeah,
Richmond is losing a date. That's for sure. For Mexico City. Actually, what's really crazy is Mexico is going to be a points race.
Yeah,
That's wild.
that's wild. It's wild because
And
it's
it's
like the
a-
first time they ran there.
It's not a street course either, right? This is like an actual like regular track, I believe, down in Mexico.
I thought it was a street course or a road course.
I think it's a regular road course, like right? Like
Yes. No, it's a road course.
yeah, it's
Yep.
not like a street course or anything.
No.
So okay.
Suarez got the advantage.
SVG gonna win.
No,
Suarez
SVG.
back on that home turf. Actually, that's going to be a great story
Yeah.
that
Right.
week when they go to Mexico. That's going to be cool.
Yeah.
What you mean? Considering you just abandoned them and became an American?
It'll be
like,
it'll be all Daniel
thought it was
Suarez
just a
fans. It'll be
dual
like
citizen.
the
it,
six.
he is.
It'll be like the 6 American like Ross Chastain fans. Mi amigo Ross Chastain. will the few Americans that are there be the highlight driver or
Right.
the highlight fans?
Oh, that'd be.
They're
kinda
all
funny.
wearing one shirt
I don't.
and watermelons.
I hope the new charter deal makes it worth it for teams to want to go do it.
I hope so. I mean, because it's
new-
going to be
the-
a problem otherwise.
The new charter deal for the teams is not good.
It's garbage.
It's bad. It's basically the same deal they have now. The TV revenue went up from whatever it was to was it 7 point something billion now.
7.8
A year.
billion.
It's basically for the teams. I think it's like I can't remember. It's like 15 or 30% increase in revenue. So there is an increase in revenue.
Yeah.
But if you got to go to Mexico or Canada, like
It's a big hit to your
you're-
revenue.
yeah, you're cutting some
Because
some percentage.
it's not
out of
it's
that.
not just the travel, right? It's the getting all your crew and everything, their
Yeah.
passports and lodging and everything. That's
Getting the car there is probably the same as going to
California,
LA.
yeah.
Yeah, it's no big deal. Like, I mean, I shouldn't say no big deal, but not much different. But yeah, it's all the crews and, like you said, passports and
Yeah, process.
hotels and
there's a lot more
security.
logistics. There's a lot more
What about
logistics.
security?
Yeah, you're going to Mexico.
If you're going to Mexico and like I don't know what that looks like, but like, do you? If you're Joe Gibbs Racing and like points matter, are you hiring your own security detail? Your own private charter to the racetrack and all that?
you might.
That ain't gonna be cheap. So what's the Mexico race gonna pay out? Is it gonna be high or is it gonna be average or less? You know, so like I don't know, man. Like that part of me is like pretty interesting. We'll see. Supposedly all the teams have the charter agreement. NASCAR, just kind of like a quick recap. NASCAR basically said we are not going to meet with the Race Team Alliance anymore, and we're going to meet with teams individually. And they have held that stance. That is them meeting with the Race Team Alliance is over. They sent all the teams a contract. Are you going to sign it or not? So we'll see. But the deal is for the charters to continue, all teams have to sign.
Yeah.
That's the deal. So if
gonna
one
be
team
wild.
holds out, if 2311 holds out, they may end charters for everybody.
Let's do it. Anarchy.
I like the charters, but at the same time, that prevents a lot of good things too.
Can you imagine?
There's
though?
a lot of pros and cons
Yeah.
both
Yeah.
ways.
But can you imagine if 2311 decides to hold out on this and then they start having like Hendrick, Joe Gibbs, Justin Marks, all of them start calling me like, guys, we need you to sign this or we're
Yeah.
not having anything.
Well, again, like we talked about before, what's the incentive of a Hendrick Motorsports to sign?
Oh, they're going to get whatever they want anyway.
What I
Exactly.
mean, what's
What's the incentive? They didn't have to pay for
Hendrick
charters.
Motorsports isn't for sale.
Exactly.
Joe Gibbs isn't for sale.
How much
Well,
are they really
Port-
losing? How much
some
are they
of Joe
really
Gibbs is for
losing
sale, but-
by having a charter versus not having a charter?
Yeah,
You're still in contention to win the championship.
your track.
You have three
house-
drivers that are primed to win. Same with Joe Gibbs.
Yeah.
The charter
to me,
is
it's about,
strictly
are you
beneficial
gonna sell
for
or
the
not?
lower teams.
No, it's all about are you going to sell or not.
Yeah.
If you're not going to sell,
What does the
do
value
you
of the
care?
charter
what do you
matter?
care?
What do you care?
Yeah.
And if you have people like Stuart Haas or mainly Gene Haas, who's a ridiculous amount of billionaire, whatever he's worth, he doesn't care about 40 million. He doesn't care. It's not a big deal. You know, he races F1 and loses hand over fist every year to race in F1. Like it's just,
And we get to watch it. It's wild.
although they've been running decent lately.
Yeah,
But
not terrible. All right, so let's move on to our questions of the week. This is if you guys have a question for us on the show, you can send it in through YouTube. You can send it in through Twitter. You
I have
can
a
send it in. No.
No.
You
I
can
do.
send it in
It's a
on
real
Instagram.
one.
Absolutely not.
Okay,
It'll
Matt.
be after everyone.
What is your question?
No, do you want me to start?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, I don't know if anyone else has this question.
there is one question.
There is at least one.
Okay, well, race today, do you think we should go back to a doubleheader? And if we do a doubleheader, should it be followed up with a IndyCar race?
I'm sorry, that's two questions.
I
You
like.
can't race IndyCar and NASCAR on the same weekend.
No.
No, follow next weekend.
You
Instead
can't.
of IndyCar this
You
week,
can't.
Nobody
IndyCar's
would go.
attendance would be terrible.
would it be that bad?
So let's talk about this since you brought it up.
Yeah, would it?
IndyCar's
I don't think it would be
attendance
that
at
bad if you already
Iowa-
got camping and everything going on.
IndyCar's attendance at Iowa a month later, this was one of the premier IndyCar events. A doubleheader, sold out both days, packed, completely packed. Today's grandstands 20% full, 25.
They didn't account for Ryan Blaney's family.
Okay. Anyways, it was a major hit to the event. NASCAR being there. And then the track repave was great for NASCAR, terrible for IndyCar. Took a lot away from the race per hardcore IndyCar fans,
Yeah.
you know.
Okay, so back-to-back races again at Pocono. Saturday night race?
NASCAR?
Yeah,
No, I'm all for that.
I think that'd be cool.
I think that would be fire.
It was
man.
something kind of unique.
I would.
I thought the back-to-back Pocono races, Saturday night, Sunday night. Well,
That was really
okay.
fun.
Mid-afternoon,
And then
right?
inverting the field for
Yes.
the second race. That was
Money.
super
That
cool.
was so much
that
fun.
was perfect.
I thought
nuts.
it was awesome.
That was so much fun.
Did we ever have
Yeah.
a double winner? Like, Denny
No.
Hamlin won
No.
both races.
Because
No,
I
we didn't.
purposely on the second race, I picked my drivers based on day one. Did terrible.
Horrible.
It was
I
totally
think-
different.
Maybe that's why I don't want to do it.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I was about it. So that was my question.
Maybe-
I thought it
Y'all.
was fun.
What do you
Man.
guys think?
I would
No,
love
I'd-
it.
I'd
I would
be-
love a Pocono doubleheader. I would love a Pocono doubleheader. Get rid of a track that we maybe think doesn't do as good with 2 dates.
Montreal.
Richmond.
Get rid of it.
But I mean, I would prefer that and give the teams another weekend off. I'm all for that.
Yeah, car's already there. Park it. Lock it.
Yeah.
Put up the window net.
No, I'm saying run
Put
your
up the window
doubleheader,
net.
but instead of maybe you take the next week off.
Yeah.
That's good for the teams. I'm all for it.
I think a double
almost
header would have
any
worked
track-
much better going into the Olympic break.
Yeah.
Like, hey, Saturday, Sunday, double header. We're going into the Olympic break, 2 weeks off after that.
Does Dover still have 2 dates or just one?
One.
One now.
One, right?
One
I think
this
it's
year.
one.
I
So
thought it
who
used
has
to be
who
two.
has 2 dates besides super speedways?
New
Richmond,
Hampshire?
Richmond,
Bristol.
which we can get rid of one
Phoenix.
of those.
Does New Hampshire still have two? or
Phoenix
is it-
has 2. I'm trying to think which tracks could you say like Richmond. If Richmond, let's say, doesn't lose a date, which it is, but like tracks like that, like do a double header and take the next week off. It's
Yeah.
better for the teams. Like it's good. Like give them the week off. You do a double header, get a bunch of racing in one weekend, and then maybe you run like truck and maybe Xfinity and truck take that week off, and then they run the next week somewhere
Yeah.
else or there.
I agree.
But give some of these guys a week off.
I thought the Pocono doubleheader, that was something that was really
That was so
cool
much fun.
that they did for 2 years, 3 years,
2 years, I think.
2 years. I thought that was awesome. I really wish they'd bring that back.
That's really what started the sellout spree of Pocono.
Why not? You can do 2 races for 1 weekend, 2 cup races, both 100 laps.
They're like
120
300
laps?
and something miles, 350 or something, 300, 350. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
They're like 100 laps each. It
You'd
was
have
great.
to, if you were taking out a double race, you'd have to take out either like Martinsville or Kansas or New
I
Hampshire.
don't like any of those options. Okay.
New Hampshire would probably
She
be the
gone.
Honestly, right now,
I never liked New
Martinsville.
Hampshire.
Yeah.
I traded Martinsville for
Martinsville Spring?
Pocono.
Martinsville Springs been pretty lame.
For a Pocono,
For a
I'd take
while.
it out.
Yeah,
100%.
agreed. I could be on board with that.
But that would also bring the hype back to Martinsville. Hey, we're only racing once a year, and it's that
And it's the
cutoff
cutoff
race.
playoff race.
Like, granted, you got to wait a long time, but
We should just run Daytona every week. Sorry.
oh,
Atlanta
jeez.
every week,
Let the intrusive thoughts win.
So
Pocono every week.
since that was Matt's questions,
Sorry,
Uh,
that was my question. Yep.
so yeah, now we'll go to the actual question. I don't know where this one came from. What's with this track racing so loose now? I don't know where that came from. But somebody asked us a question or some
Wasn't a thesaurus.
I don't know what the source is.
I mean, there's a lot of bumps now. That
Why is the
definitely
track so
contributes to
loose?
it.
I mean, I'm sure that it track's aged, right?
Yeah.
They run generally like the hottest part of the day, so the track's going to get really hot and slick.
Loose is fast.
Loose is fast.
Wrong.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Please enlighten us.
Jeff,
Genius.
you want to try to answer? I'm just going to wrong all of you. I know the answer.
I mean,
I called it, and then the TV
Oh,
called
of
it out.
course you did.
True or false?
You did.
I think I know, but
All the time.
I'm not gonna let you wrong me, so I'll let you answer.
You want to answer?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Y'all can try. I mean, at least no. Basically, so
Air
to be
pressure?
fast in the straightaway, you have to have the car really low in the rear.
Oh, I was
So what
getting there.
happened is when you hit the bumps, If your car doesn't handle well over the bumps, you lose traction, you spin out. I know this because this is what happened to me at Bristol last night. I hit the bumps in the middle of the corner, spun me out.
To be fair, this is an iRacing.
Yeah, fair. Yeah.
No, there was
Sure.
there was a cup race in Bristol last
No,
night.
but
You guys just didn't see it.
I mean, that's basically it. The teams have found out the more they can keep that low end closer to the bottom, it helps them on corner entry to make passes. That's where you gain at Poconos, corner entry. If you can get in on the corner entry, you have a chance to make the pass.
Sounds like a super speedway.
So you don't want to just be fast in the corner. You also have to be fast down the straightaway. You really need to be fast in the straightaway. Get the draft, make the pass.
Pocono super speedway.
I would buy that over Nashville.
I
Right?
would 100% too.
Right?
But I mean, that's the main reason. So they run the car really, really low in the rear. So it hits the bumps. What happens is the rear diffuser and the rub blocks, as they hit the bumps, it bounces off the asphalt and the rear tires lose weight.
The
and
weight
lose
goes up,
traction.
yeah.
Yep. That's why. That's why they're loose. Really, anytime you see them spin out, is almost in the center or in the center of the corner. Turn 1, it's right in the center. Turn 2, it's right in the center of the tunnel. Turn 3, they're about 3/4 of the way through the corner, close to the exit.
So
Yeah.
smart.
So
And they've gotten progressively worse over the years, which is really interesting. I wonder if they're going to do anything about it.
proprietary paving technology.
No, they're independently owned. They don't have access.
Oh, I'm sure they can figure it out. Just put a really thin pancake layer down.
The grinders out there.
I mean, they do that. You know that, right?
Yeah.
So we also have another question from Sawyer. He says, does Busher make the playoffs? And if he wins in any way, where and how does he point his way in?
Busher.
I'm going to point out that we have Richmond and Michigan coming up back-to-back again, and that's where he won twice last year.
Busher. Barely knew
He
her.
won Richmond last year and Michigan last year.
That's interesting. Michigan,
So I will say if Busher has a chance, it's one
Brad
of those
will
two
win at
races.
Michigan.
I could see
RFK
them
will win at
showing up
Michigan.
with some really nice stuff
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
it comes to RFK.
Ford's
I mean,
been hot lately. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but
Yeah.
Ford's won the last 7 out of 9 races.
Out of the last 5,
Since
they have
North
won 3.
Wilkesboro.
Out of the last 5, they've won 3.
You can't
That's
count
pretty
North
good.
Wilkesboro.
But that was their winning streak. That was the first win by Ford
No,
this year.
Brad.
Won a cup race, yes, but
I see
Logano
what you're
won North Wilkesboro.
You know
That
what's
was the
weird?
train.
So
Right.
updated points, Chris Busher is plus 44 to the cutoff.
So who gets a better car, Busher or Brad? I would assume Busher.
I don't
Right
think
now.
either one of them gets a better car.
I think
Oh, I
Busher
guess
will.
if Brad is the win, yeah, maybe if you have
Why
a
not?
car that
Just a little hot.
3%
little
better.
help.
You know,
No, you want
This
to
is a new
this is
spring.
this is a weird
enjoy
stat.
it.
This is a weird stat. Ford has alternated wins every single week since Brad's win.
What?
Brad Gibbs won the Open. Then there's Well, okay, not entirely true because these two were 1 week apart from
You
each other.
lied to me.
So you had Brad, then you had Ty Gibbs win, then you had Logano win, then you had Bell, Cindric, Larson, Blaney, Bell, Logano, Bowman, Blaney.
picking Fords next week, boys.
So
Oh, no. Next week should be no Fords.
Yeah, next week should be no
Yeah.
Ford. So Chevy, Toyota. I would assume Joe Gibbs' car.
Indy?
Wait, where Indy? No, Kyle Busch should win that sucker. I already called it. Kyle Busch should win it next week. Y'all sleeping on
Larson.
that one.
He had 200 laps of practice.
That's true. Actually, I count it. He has.
Obviously, we're talking about the Indy 500.
He has 200. No, it's 100 laps, right?
yeah, but
200. Come on, Matt.
Matt, there's also all the practice and qualifying that he did too.
Oh, he did.
Oh,
many
yeah,
laps.
that's
He's
true.
had like 1,000 laps there.
Yeah, he's had the
Plus
1,000
whatever
miles.
sim
in
time he
Indy.
has.
Yeah. I think he knows that track pretty well by this
All right,
point.
Larson, Kyle Busch. Those are your picks right there.
All right. So next week we're going to Indy, obviously. We have Cup.
No, you got to announce it right. We're going to Indy, but we're going to the Oval.
Yes.
Woo, woo, woo.
The true Brickyard is back.
We've been to the Oval before NASCAR has in the last couple of years.
We've been there.
Oh, that's weird. So we got Cup. We got
I like the
Xfinity.
Wait,
trucks,
call it
and
out
ARCA.
right, bro.
What do you mean call it out
Start
right?
times, because it's an abnormal start time.
Cup time, 2:30. That's
2:30 start time.
not abnormal.
It's 3:30 normally.
I guess it is.
That's why I put the note in there, DJ.
Okay.
God dang it, bro.
I mean, yeah, fair enough.
Gee Willikers, man. Pull
Tighten
it
up,
together.
bro.
All right,
Tighten
Pull it
up.
together.
Sorry.
Silence.
I felt bad.
Yeah.
Didn't
So-
want to yell at DJ. I regretted
Like I
it.
put the notes in. You can at least say them.
Cup Oval check mark 2:30 p.m. Sunday.
Yes,
Xfinity,
correct.
oval, check mark, 3:30 Saturday.
Wait, before you go any further. Interesting. They're actually running this the modified
This
super
is why I
speedway
can't say
package from
anything.
Atlanta at the oval.
What?
I don't know. They ran it before. It wasn't that great.
Super duper
Kinda shocked.
speedway.
Wait,
They're,
wait,
run, they're
this car?
running. They're running.
Xfinity, right?
I think they're running the aero package of the super speedway, but then the regular intermediate engine package. It's
Which
the
one are we
same-
talking? Are we talking Xfinity, or
Xfinity.
Okay,
It's the same thing they do at Atlanta for Xfinity,
okay, that makes sense.
which makes the racing not great there.
Might be. A
I
little
don't know.
Might
That's
be a little
really-
different here, though.
That'll be
Maybe.
interesting.
I don't know.
We'll see. That'll
Yeah.
be interesting.
Okay, running super speedway package variant. Trucks check mark IRP Friday
Are
8:30.
you gonna really do this? PM.
This is what you wanted, Jacob.
This is what you didn't put PM in the notes. I'm sorry, Jake. ARCA check
8:30
mark
a.m.
IRP Friday 5:30 in the morning. Apparently,
Yes.
other
Set your
notable
alarm.
upcoming races.
There is no other.
I feel like never mind. I'm not going there. I was gonna say I'm reading
Open wheels actually
reading
racing
a
there.
teleprompter and just reading everything in
So
the notes.
of the entire show sheet,
End
this
quote.
is the thing you decide to read verbatim.
Yes.
You skipped all Matt's spelling errors.
I
Yes.
specifically
All right.
told him to before the
We-
podcast. I
you were-
said,
you were
please do
talking-
not read these verbatim. These are just notes.
Because every time I read them verbatim, Matt
The
chews me
only
out.
thing is okay, like if we're doing this, like it should be like, hey, 2:30 is
You're
not
right.
a normal start time.
No, you're right. I
and then
should
the
have.
trucks and ARCA are racing, but they're at IRP. Although I would love to see the trucks at Indy. That'd probably slap.
That's probably really
Probably
dangerous.
slaps a few people in the
I
grandstands.
was gonna say.
Those cars would be flying, bro.
Hey, yo.
I don't know that.
Hey,
Remember,
yo.
remember the first time trucks ran at Daytona?
Yeah.
Great race.
The bricks destroyed
Knocked
race
the
one.
walls off that place.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
Who needs a fence?
So you guys have anything you want to say as we kind of get ready to close this thing out? Anything?
I don't know. I'm really excited for Cup at Indy. I think that
That's
race
gonna be
is
good.
going
It's
to
gonna
be
be fun.
awesome or it's going to suck.
Yeah.
Who knows, right? I think it's going to be great because like that the way that track's like ground and everything. Like I'm super interested about tire strategy. I'm pretty sure they have a 50-minute practice session on Saturday.
Something like that, yeah.
Look to Bob Pockers. He'll post the full scale or like
I
the-
do follow him all the time just
Oh,
to
yes,
get
bro.
like start time. So I'm like, all right. I need
Bro,
to be home to watch this
notifications
time.
on.
If
for
you're a
Bob
NASCAR
Pockers.
fan and you don't
Yeah.
follow Bob Pockers,
You
then
need
that's a problem.
notifications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
For sure.
you might want
I
to.
wish to be like that, like reliable.
Yeah. Be like Bob.
Be like Bob.
Be like Bob.
Bob is good. Bob gives you accurate times
I think
in racing channels.
that
Yeah.
I mean that race might really slap, dude.
I'm ready
With
for
the
Indy.
drafting down the straightaways and stuff, like it might really slap if they're running. Like I mean, they should have a lot of downforce to make speed in the corner,
Today was
which
pretty
would
good
make you
race.
think you're gonna have a lot of drag.
I think it's
down
gonna be
the
very
straightaway.
similar to today's race. I really do.
I really do,
I think it's gonna be
especially
pretty
turn
good.
2.
Turn 2, for some reason, it just strikes me as like an Indy turn.
Less bumpy though.
Maybe.
Indianapolis
Probably.
was basically turned to a Pocono 4 times.
It will be interesting. Like you saw, like drivers
You mean
using
8 times?
you saw drivers using the apron a little bit on turn 2 to help rotate the corner. Is that going to be a thing at Indy?
You never
Maybe.
know.
Like using the apron like
I don't know.
4 times
I
per
can tell
lap?
you
Like that'd
what-
be kind of wild.
I can
Not
tell
using all of it,
you,
but just kind of clipping it.
When I do that night racing, it does not end well. But then again, I'm not a cup driver, so
You shouldn't do it at night. I don't think there's lights. Is
At
there lights
night?
at Indy?
did I say night?
Yeah.
Oh, I meant iRacing.
Oh, okay. You said night racing. That makes
I
sense.
was really
iRacing makes
confused.
sense.
Sorry, yeah, sorry.
I was
Wow.
say it has no lights. It would be hard.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Hey, we should definitely maybe sometime this week run some laps on the sim just to see what it's like. I have no idea.
I'm about it.
I thought you were about to say NASCAR heat, and I was like, no. Please.
I
An
don't
old
know.
Gen 6.
I don't know.
Please.
I don't know if we can because I think some of the servers might be shut down on 5. Heat
Private
5.
lobbies.
Trash.
Thank God.
No, because then we're stuck with ignition,
Trash.
That's
Okay,
actually big
iRacing,
trash.
iRacing, the console's coming, boys.
right?
It's over. I'll dominate you.
No, I mean, obviously nobody's. It's very open news about what happened yesterday. Just thoughts
Yep.
and prayers go out to President Trump, his family, and everything. Glad everything seemed to be more on the safer side of the whole situation. So obviously on our side, just thoughts and prayers go out. Hope everything moves forward and we can move past it.
Spectators, for lack of a better term, that lost their life, and the couple that I think that are
Yes.
critical condition. So
Yeah, definitely think
Definitely.
about those families.
heavy
Heavy
moment
hearts.
on the country.
Heavy hearts
So-
on everyone for sure. So just anything we can do to help out or move forward.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. So it's been fun, guys. It's been good hanging out with you guys. So like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys after we finally get to go to Indy, which will be fun. We're finally going back to the Brickyard, boys.
Let's go.
Woo! All right. We'll see you guys next week. Take it easy, y'all.
Hey, Matt, what are you doing next weekend?
Indy.